Hello, everybody. I don't really have an intro video today, so it's just me. It's just me. How's everybody doing? Oh, where's my props? Did everybody get? You guys, there's a new X-Cops EP. Did you check it out? You gotta check it out if you haven't checked it out. It's pretty cool. I get these songs stuck in my head, and I mean, look at how beautiful that is. There's no music on this side, but it looks very cool. How is everybody? We're back with the GWARPod, and oh my God, do we have a treat for you tonight? It's Joey Slutman, the second of, I guess you could say, 4 lead vocalists of GWAR. And I'm pretty sure he's got a good story to tell, so I think we should just get right to it, right? Are you guys ready for some GWARPod?
GWARPod comes from on GWARPod. 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 GWARPod.
Hello.
Hey, what's up? What was that about? Nothing much. Technical difficulties.
Yes, you guys, we're on a little bit of a delay, just so you know. If anything sounds weird, we're sorry, but we're using ancient scumdog technology from Antarctica, I think. So, but we got him. We got the exclusive with Joey Slutman. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. It's warm.
Awesome.
Here, I think all the ice caps are melting from Antarctica, and I'm here in New York sweating my balls off. Of course, I'm suffering for fashion. I don't know why. This might come off at some point. But we got Joey Slutman. So let's go all the way back. Like, can you tell me a little bit about your life pre-GWAR? Like, where were you at in your life when that started to happen?
You're breaking up. You're breaking up.
Oh, no, it's already happening. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me? Hey, what was the question? Yes. I'm sorry.
Tell me a little bit about what your life was like before GWAR. Like, where were you in your life around that time? Yeah.
I was in the Navy. There was a big punk scene in Norfolk, and half of them were Navy, or they used to be in the Navy, which is what happened with me. I got out in Norfolk, stayed in Norfolk for a while. I was in a hardcore band called Judicial Fear. We used to play in Richmond a lot, most memorably with DOA and Minor Threat. That was the best show I've ever played in my life. Yeah. How could you top that?
Incredible.
But yeah, that's what we were doing. So, and then we met a couple of cats from Richmond. That was the only band I was in before I was in GWAR.
And what was it, like a hardcore punk band?
Yeah, it was a hardcore band, it's thrash band. We weren't really good particularly, but we worked at it. We don't have any existing recording.
That was going to be my next
from back in those days. The one recording I had, a basement tape.
Yeah, you still have
There was a basement tape that I had. It got lost in Hurricane Katrina.
Oh no!
I lost that.
As an archivist, that hurts me.
Yeah, it got lost. So it's like we never existed except for a couple of problems. Judicial Fear. Yeah.
All right. If anyone has any flyers.
Early 80s hardcore. It's, it was what it was. My first band.
Nice.
And I wound up in Richmond. We went to Richmond a lot for shows, and we got hooked up with all those guys, Mike Rodriguez, Crispy, Jeff Dodge, the old school guys. We got hooked up with them, and we were best friends for years. And nice. I wound up just moving up there one day.
Oh, I was going to ask, you moved up to Richmond. Did you play shows with Death Piggy?
We played one show with Death Piggy, and that was in Norfolk. It was called the Pre-Christmas Pain Sale, and the mob from New York was there. The Doughboys were supposed to come, but they didn't. Agnostic Front, early Agnostic Front, with Ray Barbieri playing drums. Rabies.
Hmm.
That's what everybody knew him as, Rabies. He's dead now, rest in peace. He was an old friend. He was in the Navy with me. And some of the old guys that are still on the scene now. We were all in the Navy together in Norfolk. So
Wow.
we played that one show, and that was it. But I remember Dave in the Brown Experience, too. That was another one of his side things I saw that was pretty brilliant. So
Tell me about
I
that.
heard
I
that they
love
needed
you.
a
I
singer.
haven't heard of this one before.
Well, when I first got to Richmond, Mike Rodriguez hooked me up with Wes Freed, the painter. Another one we've lost too soon. May he rest in peace. Getting old sucks, man. Start losing all your friends. But you know, he hooked me up with Wes Freed, and I stayed with Wes in his big room. Him and Willem on the other side. I forget the name. It was a tea house. I think it was on Franklin. It's a long time ago. But I stayed there until I got a place in the Bottle. So I was there off and on. I'd go stay at somebody else's place for a couple of days. So I was floating around when I first got to Richmond.
So you did live in the dairy.
I heard that they needed a singer. Yeah, well, I heard they needed a singer. And I went to Dave and I said, hey, I'd like to try it out. And he just blew me off. Like I was like shit on the heel of his shoe, you know? I did it. I stuck with it. And I started throwing the voice at him. And next thing I know, I was in the Bottle doing the new songs with him. Dave gave me a cassette tape with him, jokes singing all the lyrics on the acoustic guitar. I wish I still had that tape. I lost that one too.
I wish you
but that's how I learned the songs.
Too. Wow.
Him singing them really slow over the acoustic guitar.
Do you remember
yeah, it worked out. Yeah, it was AEIOU. It was You Ain't Shit, Rock and Roll Party Town. Wow, I can't remember all of them. Oh yeah, definitely the GWAR theme. And then I think they had a new one called Save the Seals that they were just working on, and a couple other things that we came up with after that they threw in that they already had. They just gave me like 4 or 5 to get started. And yeah, and I was in there and I did it. It was whirlwind, man. It was just like, you know, I went up there, I stayed about 2-3 weeks, and the next thing I know, I'm trying out band, and I got in, and then it was cool. It was something different. It was more like an art project than anything, you know, from my point of view, because I wasn't an art student at that time. I went later, but they were all art students. So it was like an art project. It was more about the costumes and the ethos behind it, the storyline. At first, the music came secondary, I always thought. You know, I thought it was obvious if you heard any of the early tapes.
Yeah, well, I mean, there is some of that out there. We do have this Let There Be GWAR, and you're on a couple tracks on this, right?
Yeah, I'm on 4 tracks on that. It's funny, they found those tracks, but they didn't find Time for Death or Slutman City. Those are just magically lost from the same tape.
Damn, I was gonna, Slutman City, that would make sense. Of course, you're Joey Slutman. Did you come up with that
they
name?
Didn't put those two. Yeah, well, I wrote the original lyrics. They changed the lyrics after I left.
Right. What were do you remember what they were? The original lyrics?
Listen, they've been on YouTube for like 10 years.
Oh, okay.
I have videos up with the original songs, with the original lyrics on them. You can't really understand all of them because it's a basement tape, but if you listen really hard, you'll hear them. But yeah, that was the early days.
You remember that, yeah.
I mean, there
was there any
song,
more?
You know, he made it. I wasn't singing about exposing nipples and stuff like that. It was all, you know, blood and guts stuff.
Right,
you know,
right.
I was writing, when I was writing stuff, it was more about, you know, the more violent aspects of the whole idea of it. Dave Brocky, he brought in the sex and the drugs and made it funny.
Right.
So it's a lot of different stuff. People don't understand. When GWAR started, it wasn't a metal band. Okay, it wasn't a
Yeah,
heavy metal
tell
band.
us, tell us
It was
more about
guys
that,
from
because I
various
always say that
rock and
too.
hardcore. It's true. Even people, I don't know, people who should know about it don't believe it. But yeah, it was a bunch of guys from punk rock, hardcore bands. I mean, the Alternatives, they were like a jazzcore band. You know, they was far away from heavy metal as anything, and they were the original band, really. The drummer, the guitar player, and the bass player were the Alternatives.
Right.
And then you had Steve Douglas was the lead guitar player, and he was really good guitar player. And it was just guys from punk bands, and the whole idea started as a parody of metal, making fun of the excesses of metal. You know, it's kind of like, I don't know. Remember that album, that Southern rock band, the bunch of fat guys, Molly Hatchet, and they had that album where their big fat heads were superimposed on these big rock god, buff bodies. Do you remember that album? I think the song "The Creeper" was on it. Yeah. You ever heard of Molly Hatchet? Am I aging myself?
No, I've heard
But
of the band,
that was
but
the
I don't
idea.
know
They
the
just
album.
making fun of the X-Files.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
look it up when they're Molly Hatchet. They were big fat rednecks, and they had this album with their heads and their triple chins superimposed on these guys with like Conan the Barbarian bodies.
And you think
But
they
I
were taking?
digress. Huh?
You think
I
Molly
didn't hear
Hatchet was
you.
taking it seriously?
No, but it was funny that they would do something like that. You know, the metal. If you think about the metal bands from the '70s, '80s, even the '90s, the bombastic bullshit, the spandex, you know, all the dramatic poses, and all the drugs, all the women. You know, that's all it was. It was just a lambasting of the rock and roll excess. That's how it started. If you listen to the early music, it wasn't heavy metal at all. It was just like
not
sloppy
really.
punk. You know. Now, I tried towards the end. We started getting more in a metal vein, I guess. Yeah, I said, if we're going to make fun of metal bands, why not play metal?
Mm-hmm.
But they laughed at me and said, no, Gwar would never be that good enough to play metal. No, they took it serious when it came to the ethos.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what to say to that. So I let it go.
Yeah.
But
do you remember
when we did Time to Death, and Slutman City was a little bit more grinding. It got a little heavier then.
Yeah.
Plus we had two drummers at that time.
That's right.
It was heavy.
Yeah, that's crazy. That was on some of these recordings.
It changed a lot from the first year I was in it to the first part of the second year I was in it. The first year I was in it, it was really, it wasn't great. It was good punk rock. It wasn't metal, but it was good. It was like, it was dirty. It was good. But as members left and new ones came in, like Steve Douglas was gone, and they brought in this guy, I forget his name. He only lasted for like one practice. And then Brocky took over guitar. Greg Ottinger came in from the Alternatives. At first, it was just Rhodes. And when Chris Sumner left, Jim Thompson took the drums.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. And then Tim Curry came in and played second drum.
Okay.
There was a lot of movement the first 2 years. There's a lot of movement, a lot of different players coming in and out. A lot of people don't know that, but it's true. They didn't. It's not mentioned in any of the book, really. It's not mentioned in the documentary, but there were a lot of fleeting glimpses of people in and out of the band the first 2 years.
Yeah,
and I guess I was one of them. I think
in the book here.
Yeah.
We got.
Well, I lasted like 16, 18 months, I think, and I moved to Philly with my girlfriend.
That long?
I think 16. Yeah, it was like a year and a half. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Mud Helmet.
It was longer than a year. I know that. We only did 3 shows, I think, in that time. Most of the time I was in the band was writing music, was getting making new costumes that were just a bit better than the original ones. And they weren't all that much better. Nothing like what they look like now.
Right, of course.
But Yeah, I mean, we were just always working on it, and we did a commercial in some cable station up in Petersburg, Virginia. I've never seen that since it was on live, uh,
Hmm.
but it was pretty cool.
I
That was
never
the
heard of
first
that.
thing we did before the first show with me in it.
Okay. Do you remember
And,
anything about
yeah, and then we
coming up with
played.
the
You're breaking up.
stories and oh, hello? Yeah. We're having technical
Yeah,
difficulties.
yeah. Oh, we would just sit down. And everybody would be high or something, or drinking wine, whatever. Uh, this brainstorming, this stupid shit, just laughing, and we came up with this one thing called penguin booting. I don't know if it ever
Mhm.
made it, you know,
They did,
after I
yeah.
left. It was, that was the national sport of Antarctica, penguin booting.
They
It's
did
kicking
integrate that
penguins
into the
like
show
footballs.
eventually. Yeah.
Uh,
In the late 90s.
it did.
Yeah, yep.
I'm glad to hear that because I didn't know if it did. Because that
It
was a
was
good
really
bit. That was
silly.
funny.
Yeah, yeah, they have all these little
We came up with all
penguins.
the names. Came up with all the names and stuff like that for everybody at the time. Uh, things like that. Writing songs, Time for Death, Slutman City, Save the Seals. I think there was another one. I don't know.
Man, I've
It's,
never heard of Save
it's
the
been a long
Seals. Can
time.
you tell me more? Can you tell me more about Save the Seals? Because
Save
that's a
the
song I've
Seals.
never heard of.
It, it's on one of the videos that of one of the two shows I did live. But Save the Seals for us, and we had a stuffed seal that we ripped apart. It had the styrofoam, guts coming out of it. It wasn't really gory or anything. It was kind of comical. But
Right.
I remember in that show though, we were experimenting with fire pots, with fire, and I remember getting the back of my neck burnt and getting scared
Oh,
when it exploded because it was a small stage. It was on Rocket Stage, not the biggest stage. And we had some guys who were laying on the floor, and there's fake blood everywhere. This Caro syrup everywhere. It was a mess. I think they called
oh,
it garbage after that. And we're lighting off these pots, and this pyrotechnics going off, and we're ripping up stuffed seals. I think
mhm.
Brocky had a kielbasa tied to his dick, and he had it hanging below his. He was wearing a burlap sack as a skirt. And
Mhm.
the first show, our costumes were like, hockey masks and wrestling belts and stuff like that. It was with the what do you call them, studs glued on them. It was
Right.
really. You look and see what they do now. And I've seen them a handful of times since I left in '86. I saw them in the '80s at Trenton City Gardens, and I saw them at
Oh, wow.
Revival in Philly like 2 years after I left. And I saw them another 10 years after. I saw them in New Orleans at Tipitina's when I was living down there. And each time I saw them, the level of the show was just worlds away from the last time I saw them.
Oh,
Until
yeah,
I
it's
saw
super
them.
pro now.
Yeah. I saw the first show that Bishop played at the barbecue.
Mhm.
And
Oh, okay.
that show was by far, that was an important show, I thought. That was a really good show. Bishop really killed it.
Yeah,
That was a good
yeah.
show. And then I saw him when they played at the National, his first live show in the club.
Mhm.
So I saw those two shows, and they were amazing. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
when I go back to '86 and I think about how things were '85, '86, and how chaotic it was. Nobody knew what the hell they were doing on stage. We were bumping into each other. Hunter would be in my ear going, "That's not how we're supposed to do it," and shit like that. And I would just throw him down and just, we would just pretty much just ad lib through the rest of it. But it was
Right.
fun. But now
Okay,
it's a
yeah.
machine, and I
Yeah, it's
see that, and it
absolutely a
blows me away.
machine.
Because I remember when they first started, and to see how
Mhm.
big it is now. How well, it's professional. They're professional.
Oh, yeah, it's
Everything's got
definitely a
its
career, yeah.
everything's got its place. I can't imagine still doing it all these years later. That's a lot of gear to be lugging around. It's a
Yeah,
lot
it's
of
like
gear.
the hardest working band out there, I think Lemmy once told Dave, "I hope I never have to do that much work in my life."
It's like, wow, I don't think my hips could handle it. I just turned
Right. Yeah,
63.
that
I
sounds
can't imagine
heavy.
doing it. Yeah.
Tell
I'm an
me
old
more
man.
about do you remember like Hunter Jackson's original story ideas or anything about that or
Yeah.
him building the costumes? Tell
Listen,
me a little
man.
bit about that.
Hunter, I loved Hunter, man. Hunter was like this. He was like an artist. He was a real artist. You know what I mean? He was always excited uh, about what he did and anything new he did. He was just really excited. It was infectious. You know. I thought his vision was awesome. I liked working with him. Uh, you know, and Delaney too, and Varga, all those guys, man. Chuck, those guys are like evil geniuses. I mean,
Yeah.
they were. I mean, but there was the band, music, and all of the other stuff was separate. You know, I remember us trying to get the music down for that big show at the Flood Zone, and we was also learning all these new all these new skits, more than we've ever done before. It was a lot, and believe me when I tell you, anybody who was at that show, not everything went as planned, but you know, we just kept on going. It was cool, you know. There
Right.
was a lot of shit going on that stage. But yeah, his vision was, and he was serious about it. And if he didn't like your idea, he didn't like your idea, and that's just the way it was. Yeah. But usually in that case, his idea was usually better. So
Right.
yeah, he was just nuts, man. I've gotten complaints later on. I didn't know this when I was in the band, but apparently I was too rough on people when we were doing it. When I was hitting him with the mace,
Oh yeah.
because that thing, it wasn't heavy, but it wasn't soft either. The hammer was
Mhm.
kind of soft, but it was heavy, you know. So either way, you're getting either a whiplash or you're going to get a lump on your head. But you know, the guy said I was too rough, and maybe I was. I was only that way because Hunter, whenever I hit him, it looked too fake. He said, he goes, "Hit me for real." And I did, and he never cried about it. You know, once I made him bleed,
Uh-huh.
and he just kept on going.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
Hunter's
I
that kind
guess
of
I
guy.
just gave the same treatment to everybody, and not everybody was as hardy as he was. I mean, he wanted it to look good because he was the director, really, if you think about it. I mean, I
Mhm.
only knew Gwar with Hunter in it. I don't know anything about anything after that. You
Right,
know, I
right.
you know I didn't know those guys. I've met Dirks a couple of times, really nice dude. The other
Mhm.
guys, you know, I've known Bishop since he was like 18
Right,
when he was in
right.
Geek Maggot Bingo.
Tell me about
His
Geek
name was
Maggot
Beefcake.
Bingo.
There was a Beefcakes before Gwar,
Yeah.
so he brought that name with him.
Yeah. Did you ever see
But
him
yeah,
in The
Geek Maggot
Guilty?
Bingo. No, I only
No.
saw him in Geek Maggot Bingo that one time when they opened for us at the Floodstone. You know, it's ironic because he's singing in the band now, and he played bass for them for years, and he was a
Yeah.
great character in the band. But you know, it's just ironic. Dewey was an Unseen Force, another band that opened up for us. He wound up playing
Mhm.
guitar for him for a number of years. Yeah, it was incestuous.
Where
That
is
was
it?
Richmond.
I got my
It was a great
Unseen
scene.
Force right here.
Oh man, they were awesome. My boy Swami Verdarami was the singer. Rob
Nice.
Verdarami, Bob. Yeah, I was in the Navy with him.
Oh
He was
wow.
another one of the old
Gotcha.
squids that wound up in the early scene. Yeah, people not
Here,
from Virginia that wound up there through the military and wound up staying because back then, late '70s into the mid '80s, it was cool, man. It was its own thing. It wasn't New York, it wasn't DC, but it was nobody had a scene like Richmond. And the same thing can be said about Norfolk, Virginia beach scenes. You know, people could laugh at it, but it was a viable scene. There were a lot of good bands came out of there. A lot of great bands came and played for us down there. So that's where I made my bones in Norfolk, Virginia, in 1980. Judicial
right
Fear.
on. Judicial Fear.
Yeah.
Someone's got to
It's great time.
find some tapes and flyers for Judicial Fear.
We
It's
didn't
got
know
to
what the
be
hell we
out
were
there.
talking about. It was fun. We were kids. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
21, 22 years old. We were kids, babies. Younger than that, even. I think I was 19, maybe 20.
How old were you
No,
when
I
you joined
had to be
GWAR?
21. I had to be 21 because I couldn't get in. I wouldn't be able to drink otherwise, and I was definitely drinking in the bars then.
Right.
So it was
Right.
21. Yeah.
Here, let me
So
try
yeah,
this.
everything happened for me starting in Virginia.
Let me see if let's see if this
I didn't
works
hear
with
you.
our, yeah, let's see if this works with our delay here, but I'm going to try to play this video and we'll do some commentary over it.
All right.
What do you remember about GWAR Must Be Destroyed?
That was after me.
Oh, really?
I'm in it. He
Right,
made that
that's what I
after I
thought.
was out of the band.
But there's footage of you in it, right?
What was that?
There's
Yeah, there's
footage of
footage of
you
me
in
in there
here, right?
somewhere. Yeah, yeah, I'm in there.
That's you, right?
There's a couple with my vocals too.
Yeah.
I made that helmet.
Oh, really? How did you, what was it made out of?
Yeah, we made our own costume. I made those fur pants. Those brown and black straight pants.
There it is.
Oh, see that Save the Seals. That's the song we're singing there.
Oh, wow.
See how comical
So,
it looks?
yeah, it's
When you
great
see
though. I
how
love
bloody
it.
everything got later on.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I love early GWAR. It's like so rudimentary compared to what it is now, but it's like I love it for
That
that.
was my at Rockets.
That was at Rockets.
Are you able to hear me? Because I can't hear you.
You cut out for like a second, but yes, I can hear you. Who
I'm
has
back.
this footage? I mean, what great footage.
I don't know. I don't even have a photo. Those guys never gave me anything, never offered to show me anything. I don't even know if they have
Yeah,
anything. Maybe Hunter has everything. I don't know. I don't know.
yeah.
But I like
It's
seeing this
gotta
stuff
be out
because
there.
I haven't seen much of it.
Yeah, I mean, this is like the best, I guess the only footage I know of with you in it.
Yeah, this is about it. I think there's another one somewhere with something of me in it. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
these
know
are
they
the
were
early
making like,
days.
I know they were making like a Dim Times documentary. Did you ever get to see that?
Yeah, this is like less than a year after I left.
Right. Yeah, that's Dave.
Because Heather's still in the band.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. Joe, we lost him into the Antarctic void. Ruh-roh. I wonder if he knows. Hello, everybody. Yeah, we'll see if he comes back in. I told him if this happens again, come back in. But I guess we can just talk. Let me catch up on some of your comments. Hello, Rose. Welcome. Hello, Katie. Yeah, I got your toy in there, John. Don't worry. It's up there. Vinny, what's up? Vinny is here. Hey, is anybody going to see GWAR on the next tours? You know what? I just found out Cancer Christ is going to be playing in New Jersey 2 days before their tour starts with GWAR. So that's exciting. I'm going to try to make it. Yeah. Hello. Let's see if he comes back in. I will put this back up when he comes back. Creator and DRI. All right. I can ask him about that. Yes, that's when GWAR really went metal. Violence has arrived. But yes, I agree. And they always say this. They were a parody band, you know? And I love that. I still think that they are. I still think of GWAR as a punk band, essentially. Hello, hello. Yeah, let's hope he comes back. Hello, James. What's up? What's up? What? Tell me what's happening with you guys. Now it's just us. Chinese mustard. Let's see. I think he's sending me Oh, okay. He is messaging me. He is putting on his computer and coming back. So, I mean, I guess we could just keep watching this this fine film. Can put the volume back up. Man, I got this fly like flying across my face. Yeah, that's his vocals. I don't know if that's him on stage though. I think that's Dave. I'm not sure. Yeah, he's booting up his computer, so stand by, you guys.
To madness. I could no longer hold back, and soon I was in a frenzy to do battle.
Hey, it happens. It happens.
Push my way through the stinking humans up to the stage.
Well, this is the original GWAR short. I'm sure you've all seen it before, right? GWAR must be destroyed.
Who had cast off their glorious
I would love to see this raw footage. Somebody has got to have it. I got to get Bob on this show, and I'm going to punish him about the GWAR hive. I need to know what exists.
And soon I was beaten down.
With copy strikes? What do you mean, like on YouTube? I don't think this is going to get me. It's like so poor quality. If that's what you meant. Can you believe it? I've never been to Virginia. Not true. I played in Richmond once, when I was on tour with Green Jelly. By the way, I'll be back in the East Coast with Green Jelly a couple times in the next few months. Stay tuned. I know we're playing Dingbats in New Jersey the second Saturday of August. And I think we're going to play some sort of hardcore festival in Pennsylvania or something. I'm not sure. But it's going to be fun. And yeah, I try to avoid them as much as possible. Copyright strikes. This is a good time to promote myself. You guys, I am still working on my documentary, The Life and Slimes of Dookie Fly Swatter and Haunted Garage. So keep updated for that. I think we got him back. Let's see if he's here.
Oh,
hello.
Hey. All right. That's
wow. I think this is way better.
It must have been the phone. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. Hey, we live and we learn.
I didn't know whether you could hear me or not.
Yeah, it was a little rough. I think this communication's a lot smoother now.
Yeah.
Excellent. Let me see. I think there was some questions for you in here. Let's start there. I don't know who are you, Brother Bob? He says, tell Randy I said hi. I don't know who those people are, but maybe you do.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
Okay. Were you wicked into Creator and DRI?
You know, that's a good question. Like I said, GWAR started off, it was not a heavy metal band. It was a parody of heavy metal.
Yes.
Fun of metal. Just a lot of people don't know that, but it's true. Having said that, I didn't say we didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember when Creative came out, I listened to that kind of stuff for a little while. To be honest with you, after a while, I just couldn't listen to it anymore. Every band that came out after that sounded the same to me. I can't even read their logos.
Right.
Whenever I see a flyer, a metal show, and I look at it, I couldn't tell you any one of those bands' names. I cannot read that shit.
It's getting tough.
As a matter of fact, I need my glasses now.
I think they look like the trees in my backyard when I look up at them at night with the moon flowing through it. It's just lots of vines.
Yeah, I like DRI. Funny you say that. I remember playing with DRI in Norfolk with my band Judicial Fear. Before they were a crossover band, they were a hardcore band when they first came out, and they were different than everybody knows them now. They're great. I like what they did. But they started off as a hardcore band. They were
Yeah.
they were a punk band. But yeah, we liked them. I always liked DRA.
Nice.
Creator, Skull Crusher was a great tune. I liked, I was going to name a band Skull Crusher, but
Oh, that's a good name. Yeah.
I kind of fell out of it. I got
Right.
more into industrial stuff, post-punk stuff. Industrial for sure. I mean, I got into a lot of the industrial music.
Tell me a little bit about that, because the GWAR has a little bit of a history. Like Al Jorgensen produced a
First
track on
yeah.
Sun
Once they
Dogs
started
and
playing
stuff.
real metal, they did, yeah.
Yeah.
I heard that it blew me away whenever I hear them doing something like that. But I used to book for the most part for a while, industrial shows at this place called the Asylum Club in Philadelphia, right here in Philadelphia,
Oh, okay.
right off the river. So I used my connections and stuff that I had from down in Virginia, brought them up there, and I started booking shows there. I pretty much booked shows in every city I lived in. So yeah, I just started getting all these CDs and tapes, and I really liked the music a lot. It was like it had the best of metal and the best of post-punk and punk and electronic stuff. I like all kinds of music, and as I hear something new come out, if I like it, it sticks to me for a while, and I follow the bread trail, and you find other bands that are really good.
Do you remember any of those industrial bands that you were booking that come to mind that you'd want to shout out?
People,
Which one?
Clay People were
Oh, okay.
Controlled Bleeding.
Oh yeah, Paul Lemos, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I met him once.
He had another band that I booked at the Asylum called Body Clock.
Huh.
So there's so many bands that came through Philadelphia.
I filmed him in a tiny room once. It was very weird.
But yeah, I think the last show I ever did was in New Orleans, and I booked this group of kids that hung by hooks on their backs.
I've seen that.
Doing
Yeah.
tribal shit, you know what I mean? And they fire breathers and stuff like that. Tossing knives at each other.
Yeah.
I had them open, and I had this other band. I can't remember the name of them, but they acted like they were big shit because the guy used to be in Pigface for like a minute.
Everyone used to be in Pigface.
And the show didn't do well, and he didn't get what he thought he was supposed to get. And that's when I said I had enough of it.
Mike Bishop was in Pigface.
Yeah, a lot of people were in it.
Yeah, GWAR's been in Pigface. Like everyone's been in Pigface. So, I used to see them. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But yeah, that's that. I mean, I got into that. I booked a lot of hardcore shows, all age shows. I booked pretty much anything I thought was cool.
Right.
I never made any money doing it, but they got me gigs. I got into it to get my band gigs.
Right. I mean, yeah, that's why a lot of people do
like
it.
Throttle, at the time when we came out. I mean,
let's talk about Throttle. Is this so? Was Throttle your first band after GWAR, or actually before Throttle? Like what? Why did you leave GWAR exactly? Was it for Throttle?
There was so many different reasons.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Let's finish the GWAR thing first,
right,
and then we'll talk about your other music.
All right. Well, I was, when I joined GWAR, and almost directly afterwards, I met this girl. And we hit it off, and I wound up falling in love with her. Like a year and a half afterwards, she wanted to move to Philly. She was going to move to Philly, actually, I should say. The choice is mine whether I should go with her or stay with Warren. I chose her. I mean, Brocky says I was kicked out because I tried to come on to Hunter's girlfriend, Heather, who I've never, ever been in a room alone with the whole time I knew her. That was one of the tropes. And then that was changed to, well, he wanted to play real heavy metal music, so we had to let him go. That was in the book. I mean,
it's the big book of lies.
I wouldn't say it's lies.
That's what that's what Hunter calls it.
Well, there's a few in there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say lies. I would say maybe
misinformation.
Yeah.
Misremembering. Right.
There was some stuff in there said about Danny Black that I thought was kind of passive aggressive and unfair. But generally speaking, it's a well done book.
Yeah, I mean,
I was a librarian for the Norfolk. I was a collection development librarian for the Norfolk library system. I got that book in the main library.
Nice.
It's sitting there right now.
Wow. I wonder if anyone has checked it out. That'd be interesting to look.
Actually, it's a reference book, so they can't check it out. They could only read it in the library.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, it is kind of like a history book. Yeah.
Well, it's a big book. It is a reference book, really. It's one of the few things that actually talks about the old days, even if the very beginning is just fleetingly glossed over.
Right.
But you know, I get it. They've been around for a long time. That was like what, 2 years, 3 years, the Dim Times?
It's been like 40 years now.
Yeah,
40,
I'm saying the Dim Times for like 3 or 4 years.
Right.
Those guys have been doing it for an additional, what, 32? No.
Yeah.
It's a blip.
Let's see. Is it true you wrote the lyrics? Where's my fucking axe? Don't need no shit.
No, I didn't write that. No, Brocky wrote that. That song was already written when I joined.
Gotcha.
No.
Yeah, I think someone on the show didn't someone on this show say, I forget all the information, but if anyone out there has been watching, I think someone claimed that.
No. That's Dave.
So you lived in the dairy.
I did. Fleetingly.
What was that like? Did you know Neon Charlie?
Listen, it was, yeah, I remember Neon Charlie. He was always hanging out, listening. He was the watcher.
Yes.
But he was
yes,
cool.
He was.
Yeah. He was down the hall from me. It started off pretty good. It was fun. I mean, we played Dungeons and Dragons there, and we practiced music there. We made costumes there. A few of us lived there. So yeah, it was cool. And then, you know, my girlfriend at the time, she was living with me at the bottle, and it just wasn't appropriate anymore. So we got an apartment just down the street, across the street from the 7-Eleven that's still there.
Oh wow.
On top of a florist. Right on Gray Street. Near the campus.
I was just saying I have to make my pilgrimage to Richmond and like see all the sites. I've never really explored.
Yeah, I was living down there. I was back down there for a few months, not too long ago. Yeah, it's weird, you know. How do you think it's for me? I left Richmond. I've been gone for years, and I'm driving my car, and I look to my right, and there's a big mural of Dave.
Right.
You know,
that's crazy,
amazing to see that. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, because I remember me and him walking around in our raggedy ass clothes trying to find jobs and stuff because we were broke. You know, it was funny. And it's a mural of him in Richmond. It's just,
there's been I think we talked about it with Mike Bishop on the show. I think we talked about him playing in Pig Face. So check it out. There's definitely a Ministry GWAR connection. Casey Orr has actually been in Ministry.
Well, yeah, you know. Yeah, that's right. He's an immense bass player.
And I mean,
Mike, a lot of good stuff. Man.
Yeah. Mike Skasha, you know,
of
course, from Rigor Mortis and like as a whole, like everything.
They were one of the metal bands I actually really liked.
Oh, cool.
I liked them. They
were
good.
So you knew of them before he was in GWAR?
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's great. I mean, I heard all those bands. Some of them were good, and some of them were just. I just didn't get it. You know, the really, really super fast stuff.
Right.
Where it's just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
You don't play so fast until you just lose the groove.
It's kind of like white noise to an extent.
I couldn't. I know what I like. That's all I can say. You know,
right on.
More power to any bands that can get signed and play shows and have people buy their stuff.
Yeah, you should check out Squid Pisser.
Well, I've heard that name.
It's the new guitarist for GWAR's other band, one of his other. It's very grindcore. It's very.
Oh yeah, I got to check it out.
It's very intense and it's kind of super fast.
Yeah. Bandied about, and I just didn't, register what it was.
Yeah, he's in GWAR now. They've been opening for them.
He just went right in and did it, huh?
Dude, what's great was I had him on my other show about a year before he joined GWAR. So I was like, holy crap, like I'm ahead of the game on this one.
You know, it's funny. That's the one thing I remember Rocky and I talking about when we were like babies. We were talking about Menudo. You familiar with the band Menudo?
Sure, it was like a boy band. Yeah.
It's a Latin American. Well, it's Latin American.
Wasn't Ricky Martin in it?
Ricky Martin was in there, yeah. But when they hit, I forget the age, 18, they automatically, it could be 16. But once you reach that age, you're out of the band, and they
Right.
bring in a new one. And
Right.
we said we could do that with GWAR, and it's actually worked pretty well. It's been
Yeah.
working.
He's always said he wanted it to go on
There's one
forever, and
original
it could.
member in that band.
No, there's not. No.
When I say original, I mean the first incarnation.
Oh yeah, not
The
at
guys
all.
that are in there now, they've been there for like 30 years. So
Yeah.
it's not.
They're
it's not
original
the
now,
middle
but no, yeah. I mean, I would say, I guess Bob Gorman's the closest.
I didn't know who he was when I
You
was.
didn't know who he was. Okay. Yeah.
No.
All right. So
Apparently, he doesn't know who I am. But
that's he wrote about you in the book. He knows who you
he
are.
should have asked me some questions before he wrote that stuff.
Right. Well, hopefully I'll get him on the
Straighten it
show at some point. We'll get some of this history straight. I know they
It's a good book. I'm not saying nothing bad about that book. There's a few
pictures of you in it, right?
I don't know. I think there's one, maybe
Yeah.
two.
Let me see. Wait, I think I was looking at it before.
I'm surprised that squeaked by.
Right. I wonder who took those pictures. Let me see.
I couldn't tell you. Thurston House took the best live pictures of GWAR.
Who was that?
Thurston House.
I don't know that.
Richmond. He was a photographer back in the day. His pictures are all over the place.
Are these you?
I think that could be his. No, I don't know.
No.
It could be.
Is that you? Right.
Actually, see the one that's been everywhere, which I don't see here. That one right
yeah,
there.
I think it's this
One
one.
at the bottom right. He took that.
Uh-huh.
It's possible those are all his pictures because he took that one.
Gotcha. Well, let's see. Thurston House. Yeah, that's what it says. This
Yeah,
right.
it's
Second
great.
GWAR show, October
Listen, if it wasn't
30th,
for him-
1985.
If it wasn't for him, so many bands wouldn't even be remembered.
I gotta look him up. Is he still around? Maybe I can talk
Yeah,
to
he's
him.
still around. He's on Facebook all the time. Yeah.
All right, I'll send him a message.
Yeah. Look him up.
Okay. So you left GWAR and then you joined Throttle. That was the lineage?
Yeah. I went to Philly with my girlfriend, who I was pretty serious with at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But, after about a year or two in Philadelphia, it started to fall apart.
Right.
And it did. And I first thing I did was join a band. It was Throttle. And
Gotcha.
yeah, it was different from anything. It's not exactly what I was looking to do, but I'm still playing with the same guitar player to this day.
Oh, wow.
I've been stuck with him. And Kelvin, my bass player, been playing with him. I've been playing with various drummers. Michael Mosley, he's a monster.
Mm-hmm.
Chuck Treese played drums for us a few times. John Doyle. I play with the best bass players, drummers, guitar players. I just went a whole totally different direction for me music-wise.
How would you describe Throttle?
Throttle was like a jazzcore band.
Yeah.
There was some hardcore in there. There was some jazz, certainly, and a lot of weird time signatures. I wouldn't exactly call it math rock, but it was arithmetic rock. It was like math rock light. It wasn't as intense. We were just, those guys were like into jazz and funk from back in the 60s and 70s. They could play anything they wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, coming in as self-taught, my 3 chords.
Right.
I just started singing. But
now
then
I
come in with the guitar.
I can do some of my show and tell now. I have 3
Oh
of
God,
the.
you have more than I have.
I have 3 of the 4 editions of.
You can get those on Discogs for like $1.90.
I know. I think I did get some of these on Discogs.
There's one guy selling one for like 90. I'm like, good luck.
Yeah. I need the white one.
Yeah.
But I think what.
I don't have the white one. I've never seen the white one.
Really? Oh wow. Maybe that's a bootleg.
No, he ran out of the colored paper and he went with the white for the last few.
Gotcha.
Whatever ones were made with white, I can guarantee they were the rarest ones.
Oh wow. I think there's one available on Discogs. So someone's probably gonna snatch it up
right
now.
That's gonna be worth at least $40.
Yeah, $40, guys. Well, this one actually was given to me by someone when I was leaving college about 20 years ago, and they were like, I picked this up and apparently someone from GWAR is in it, and I'm like, I don't recognize any of these people. I don't know who the fuck you're talking about. It was years later. I was like, oh, okay, now I know who this actually is. So I've actually had this for like
You know what they
20
say?
something
You
years.
wasted on the young.
Right.
Uh,
And here you were
How are
Mr.
you supposed to know?
Big Mr. Joe. That's how you were.
Yeah, that was my number.
And Piss Torpedo, he's the guy you're still playing with?
Paul Dildro, yeah.
Wow.
The guy.
Oh,
The guy's
look,
an amazing
this
guitar
one,
player.
this one's red. This pink
Yeah.
one's red.
There were a couple of hundred real ones made.
Wow. Cool.
I'm not
So
sure how many. There was 1,000 in total.
Yeah, that's what it says on the back. But
Yeah.
it wasn't 1,000 of each color. It was just
I think there
1,000.
was 200 red.
Mm-hmm.
Only
Okay.
200 red.
Good
I
to
have
know.
a red one and I have one with the blue cover. That's all I have left.
Gotcha. Nice. Well, I got some Throttle here. I listened to
Yeah.
it before.
We just played our last show 36 years after the fact.
Oh yeah, you just played with
just-
them, like
Just a
as
year and a
Throttle.
half ago. Yeah,
Wow.
that was the last show. We even did a Bad Brains cover.
Which one?
And we did a cover of LL Cool J. Mama Said Knock You Out. We just did an excerpt of it.
Right.
Slid into one of our songs.
That's funny.
You know, you're gonna go out like an old man, go all the way.
Yeah.
You know, I'm dating myself by covering those old guys. It was fun though.
I remember when that song
But I'm
came
not
out.
doing any more. I'm not doing any more shows like that again.
No,
I
you're
don't
done.
really-
You're retiring from the stage, or?
Yeah, I just hit 63. I don't
Hey,
know.
I saw
I'm not
Paul
saying I'm
McCartney
not gonna
live. He's like
perform
80.
anything, but you're not going to see me performing in a hardcore band ever again. Yeah.
Aw.
I'm with Rollins on this one,
Mhm.
except he stopped way young. Yeah,
That's
but we
true.
only played a couple of shows every year.
Mhm.
You know, I haven't played that many shows the last few years.
Was there
We might
more?
do a Man is Dune show. We might do one
Right.
of those.
That'll be my next show and tell, I think.
And there'll only be one, and that'll be it.
Did Throttle record anything else besides these 3 songs over the years?
We have our debut as a cassette only release.
Oh, okay. So I don't have that one.
Those are hard to find. I think I have one left.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Can we transfer it?
There was 1,000 of those made in 1989.
Wow. Well, if you need any transferring of to tapes, like I can do that.
Actually, wait a second.
Ooh.
We thought we lost them.
Really?
We just found these in a box.
Holy shit.
Yeah, these are
I
the
know-
originals.
I know someone who can transfer those too. I just
Well,
had one.
these are 1-inch. These are half-inch tapes,
Right. Yeah.
and I don't know. Seems like a lot of people don't deal in half-inch tapes anymore.
I know a guy local to me who did one for me,
I call
transferred
one
for
of the
my
great-
documentary.
Dano
Yeah.
Deckelman from Richmond.
Hmm.
You know, if you got any sound questions or engineering questions, you call Dano.
Yeah.
And, even he said he could do. We have a 1/4 inch that he could work with, but that's just from that EP we're just holding.
Hmm.
That's those, and these are for the cassette.
Oh wow.
So yeah,
Yeah. Let's
but I don't want to
get.
spend a lot of money on getting
Right.
it transferred. This has got to be worth it. Who's going to buy it?
Well, we'll see. You know, who knows? Maybe we generate some interest on this show. You know, get Throttle back out there. Get a complete discography.
I'd
You
like
know.
to get it transferred to digital so I can at least put that up on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well,
So
we
people
could talk
listen.
about that.
There's
Are you?
one song up on my SoundCloud,
Mhm.
"Ugly World." That was I'm not gonna say big hit, but that's the one everybody knows.
Right. Are you still in Philly now?
Yeah, I'm in Philly right now.
Okay, I'm actually not that far from you, so we could maybe figure this out.
Where are you?
I'm in New York,
Oh,
suburbs
yeah,
of New
you're only
York.
a couple hours away.
Yeah, you're like 2 hours from me, I think.
Yeah.
So what was the next project after Throttle?
After Throttle, I went to New Orleans for 8.5 years in New Orleans. In between that, I was in Kansas City for a year and a half. And that whole time, while I was playing guitar, you know, for myself, writing and whatever, I didn't do any music. I only promoted bands. I was working for a marketing company that dealt with. They gave them free stuff for advertising space. So we used to book bands in these clubs and sponsor it. So I booked, you know, Super Suckers, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I only promoted music. I didn't play it. until I came
Gotcha.
back. I came back to after Hurricane Katrina washed me out. I wound up back in Philadelphia, and I started Man Is Doomed, and that was
Man is doomed.
yeah. We only
Okay,
did
here we go.
benefit shows, and most of the money started off going down to Katrina because I
Mhm.
started the band, almost 6 months after getting back,
Is
and
this
we
this
did
is
a
the
few shows for that, and then we started doing shows for homeless shelters and different things, and then we just stopped playing.
Mhm.
We haven't
And this is
played a
the same
show.
guitar player from Throttle?
Yeah, it's the same
Nice.
band.
It's the same band?
It's the same band,
Okay, that's
except
great.
the drummer. The drummer's Mike
Michael
Goldsmith, who
Mosley.
plays in almost every band that's worth a shit in Philly.
Mhm.
He's in the band right now. Gibbous Moon.
I
They're
don't
like,
know him.
I have a blog called the Thugbrarian Review. I do book and music reviews, and I did a review of them. Look it up, Thugbrarian Review, and they a cross between they're like doom, heavy blues. I mean, just everything. They're not like an ordinary doom band.
Mhm.
Noelle, the singer and bass player, she's a force to be reckoned with. And once you see her live, you'll know who the boss is.
Nice. Yeah, I'll check him out.
Yeah, but he's the drummer on this.
Okay, are they playing any shows? Maybe I'll come down and see them.
They just played a bunch of shows. They're just blowing people away left and right. We just did a
Bring them to New York. I'll come
benefit
see
show
them in
for
New York.
Lauren, who's going through some medical issues, and he brought a band called Dead Spot back from the Crypt. It's a band from the '80s, and they played, and it's like they never stopped playing. And Gibbous Moon played. Old punk rock band from Philly, D-Control played.
I've heard of that.
A lot of the old guys came out. It was just a bunch of old people,
Mhm.
in leather and tattoos and pink hair, and it was crazy.
Nice.
So, but everybody was there. That's what I like about Philly.
Yeah.
It's a good city. It's actually getting better than it was in the '90s, I think.
I gotta spend more time down there, I feel like.
You should. There's a lot of good young bands coming up now too.
Yeah.
Bands I can't even name because I'm still trying to remember their names, but people have been turning me on to some really good bands.
Okay.
I think one is called Mannequin Pussy.
I've heard of them, yeah.
Yeah, they're from Philly.
They're kind of famous now, actually.
There's a reason why that's the only band name I remember.
Right. Well, that's a good name.
Yeah. But Philly's music scene is coming alive again, I think.
Yeah, if anything comes up, just like send me a link and
I
I'll
will
check
send
it
you
out.
links, definitely for sure. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. But yeah, Philly's a great music town. A lot of great bands, a lot of great talent. So Man Is Doomed was that.
Yeah.
While I was in Man Is Doomed, I'm a big Chrome. You know the band Chrome? Hellius Creed, Damon Edge?
Not really.
You got to check out Chrome.
Okay. What kind of band is that?
See, that's the thing.
If you
Chrome,
can't describe them, I'm
I
interested.
can describe them. But
Okay.
I can't compare them to anybody.
Right. That's good. I like that.
They're their own thing. I mean, they pretty much started the whole industrial rock kind of thing. And it's goth thrown in, and there's punk in there, and there's blues in there. Just straight up electronic. You know what I mean? Glitchcore. I mean, everything that's cool now, they were doing it before anybody else, but they were doing it in this lump.
Gotcha.
It was just like beyond belief. I mean, that's one of the few bands from back in the day that I still listen to religiously. It's them, it's Birthday Party of Bad Seeds, and it's Swans. Those two bands,
and you're wearing the shirt.
everything that comes out, I buy it because I know it's some part of it is gonna be great. Maybe sometime it's not gonna be totally what I like, but there's always gonna be 2 or 3 songs that I can identify with.
I did talk to their producer on my other show, GWARPod, Martin BC.
Martin BC,
Yeah, he was on my other show.
He's had his hands on a lot of famous stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure you knew the name. Sure. I just saw him at a show a couple of weeks ago. Like he just still hangs out, man. I've met him a couple times. He's a nice dude.
I've floated around a lot, I hung out in the New York scene in the early '80s, the hardcore scene.
Okay.
I used to go to E7 and see shows, warehouse shows. Killer Instinct, bands like that, Urban Waste. Those are the bands I used to see.
Yeah.
You know, Agnostic
I
Front
used,
came later.
yeah, I used to film stuff at A7.
You know, Chain Gang, these bands that no one's even heard of.
Nice.
But then, you know, I was still also down in Norfolk around that time, up until moving to Richmond in the mid 80s. So, you know, I met a lot of people down there. I was in New Orleans for a long time, met a lot of people down there. I was in Kansas City, met a lot of people there. Philadelphia,
Mm-hmm.
a buttload of people. Because, you know, I've been here a long time off and on.
Right. Yeah.
This is where I call home, basically, Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
So, I
Tell
never
me,
New Orleans was home.
tell me about where did Isolated Cockpit fit into this musical landscape?
Right. We were talking about that actually, weren't we? There was going to be a benefit for animals, an animal benefit CD or album. And it's going to be a bunch of bands doing Hellius Creed songs. And, you know, Mike Watts in it. There's a bunch of really cool people did stuff. And I did something. It was originally Man is Doomed. And then I told her, this is going to be Isolated Cockpit song. She hasn't changed it yet. It's still under Man's Doom. But we took it and put it on our album because they never did the album. But I recorded the song. And that was the first song that Isolated Cockpit ever did. And it wasn't even our song. And then we just started writing stuff since then. And we've been doing it for like 12 years, I think.
Oh, wow.
It's 2011. Longer than that, 13 now. It's just going by.
Oh, wow.
Eat queasy listening.
I mean, so I have this. It's from 2018.
Yeah.
And I think you told me this was really rare. Is this really rare?
I only printed out 6 of those.
There says there's 40 of them.
5 people wanted to buy them.
I got number 4.
6 of them, and I also have 2 that were pre-sale. Right. You know, different covers that I just sent out for people to review.
They were like made to order, basically, or what?
Yeah, I wasn't going to put all the work in it unless somebody wanted it. You know, I was going to do up to 40. That's how many tapes I had. I wound up recording something else on it. So if you have that tape,
I have.
There's only 6 of them in existence.
Holy crap! This might be the most rare GWAR-related item that I have. Then
I have number 1 and I have number 2.
Gotcha.
I sent out 3, 4, 5, and 6, I think.
I got number 4.
Do you really?
Yeah.
You hang on to it.
I will. This is going to be worth $40 one day.
Sure. Sure it will.
Hey, I just want you to know that there's some Throttle fans here, or at least they are.
A couple of fans.
He's got 2 cassettes. Oh, nice.
Hang on to them.
You should pay. Yeah. So,
send me one.
I was going to say the opposite. Yeah. I'll buy it. See, we got some people who might be interested. Only Pigface. We're talking about Pigface still. Chrome, all right.
Cool.
Like describing Butthole Surfers.
Describing Butthole Surfers. Right. You're right. Butthole Surfers took a lot from them. So did The Residents, Killing Joke, even admittedly. Prong. I mean, they even, you know, they did a cover.
Throttle changed the face of Philly punk. There you have it.
Oh, that's my frenemy, John. Don't listen to him.
It's misinformation. So, what is it? Big Fat Ugly?
Big Fat Ugly.
That's like your brand?
It's a brand. It's something
Is it a band as well?
It was supposed to be a band.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Down in New Orleans, but it never happened. And ironically, it was supposed to be with John Manhart, the Joker, who just wrote that. It never happened. So I used it for anything I do. I put out T-shirts of Big Fat Ugly, stickers.
Right, because you do drawings and stuff too, right? You're an artist.
Yeah, I'm not an artist.
Did you do the cover of Throttle here?
No. Actually, Rex Hogan, the guy who was from the record
Jim Hogan.
Jim Hogan. We call him Rex on Facebook.
Oh, this was recorded in New Jersey, huh?
Yeah. It says the record label on the back, right?
Yeah. Heat Blast.
Yeah, they put out a lot of good records though.
Yeah. What else did they put out?
Social Decay, an old New Jersey hardcore punk band. Nude Swirl.
Hmm.
who got a little notoriety in New Jersey. Look it up, man.
Yeah, I will.
Look it up. Heat Blast. You'll see all the. They put out a lot of stuff.
Going on Discogs right after this.
Yeah,
Buying it all
they're
up.
on there.
Yeah,
Just put in Heat Blast. You'll get all their releases.
nice.
Yeah.
And so, are you currently doing any music? Like, what can
Yeah.
we expect? Anything from you coming out? What's going on?
I put stuff out every day. But
Yeah,
I
you
put
do
up on-
put stuff out.
Listen,
yeah.
this is what I do. We write the music, we record it, I put it up on my SoundCloud. I send it to different DJs. It gets played in Radio Libertaire in France, or one of my friends here in the
Right.
United States plays it on their radio. And then if I decide that I want to put it out on a CD, I'm not putting out any vinyl, number one.
No, yeah, that's too
I'm not
much work.
doing it because it's too expensive. The return on it, I'm tired of losing money.
Mhm.
So you could download it, you could buy a CD or a cassette. If that's not good enough for you, I'm not doing it. And plus, you got to wait. There's a long waiting list to get vinyl done, and it's really expensive.
Mhm. Right.
I'd have to charge $15 for a 7-inch. Who's going to pay that? I
Mhm.
wouldn't. I wouldn't
Mhm.
buy my single for $15
That's fair.
unless I autographed it. Then I'd buy it.
Ooh, putting a value up there. Hey.
No, but yeah, the music's done digital.
Yeah.
So I'm not even going to put it on vinyl because it's going to sound like shit anyway.
Right.
Yeah. I don't
Just
have
Bandcamps. You know.
This is Mantray Studios I'm sitting in right here.
Yeah.
This is where all the magic happens.
That's all you need is a laptop
This is
and
the
a
handbag
microphone.
factory, the puzzle factory. That's what this
Absolutely.
is. So yeah, we were always doing Isolated Cockpit. We just put out a couple of tunes.
Mhm.
And I put out videos.
yeah.
I put out videos on my YouTube. I have like about 71 videos up there. GWAR, Throttle, Man is Doom, a lot of Isolated Cockpit. You know, I got a new thing that we're doing called Short Giant.
Right.
More
Yeah. What's that?
noise related.
Mhm.
We're just fooling around. We're just old men having a good time. You know,
Nice.
if people like it, that's great. If they don't like it, that's great too. You know, I haven't made a penny from anything. You don't see me really pimping it that hard. I
Mhm.
put it out there. You know, I get like 10, 15 likes, and that's where it stays.
Hey, if it makes you happy, that's what's important the most. You know.
I only do it to stay sane. We enjoy doing it, and you know, like I said, I played a show. I was 61 years old doing a Bad Brain cover. The man has had to stop. So, and I'm good with that. I'll play live. I'll play music, but Throttle is definitely never coming back.
Did you ever see Bad Brains?
Been on stage with him 3 times.
Oh, really?
HR. I've seen him like 3 different incarnations since
Yeah.
1982, all the way
Wow.
up to booking them in Philadelphia. And what was it, 2009?
Yeah, I saw them
No,
around then in
No,
CBGBs.
it was 1998, I think it was.
Oh wow, 2006, I think maybe is when I
That's
saw
right.
them.
When HR came back
Hmm.
first time after
Yeah,
being gone a lot of time,
yeah, I met him a couple times.
they played at the Revival. I booked them with
Nice.
Leeway, and I got my band Throttle on that bill. We opened up.
Nice. So Throttle played shows with a show with
That's
Bad
the
Brains.
only
That's
reason
great.
why I book shows.
I mean, dude, you can say that. That's an awesome thing to say.
The only reason why I started doing it, you know, I booked Agnostic Front here in Philadelphia at Revival. Marauder. You ever hear of Marauder? This metal band out of New York.
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
Those guys killed.
Mhm.
I remember seeing them at a club in New Jersey. The lead singer had a taser, and he was tasing people in the ass.
Jesus.
It was at where in New Jersey was that? It was a famous club.
Well, you mentioned City Gardens before.
No, it wasn't City
Wasn't City
Gardens. It was more beach area.
I'm not sure. I know what's around now, but I don't know about back then.
Asbury Park.
Oh, okay.
All right. It was in Asbury Park.
Asbury Lanes.
Yeah, I think it was Asbury Lanes.
Mhm.
And you know, there's a bunch of bands playing there, and he was just poking people in the ass with that. It started a big riot.
Wow.
It was a riot. I mean, there was a ball of people fighting, like about 50 strong.
Oh, it's Stone Pony is another venue out there.
See, this is what sucks about getting old.
Yeah.
I see flyers for shows that I just don't remember playing. I don't remember
Right.
being there.
Yeah.
I don't remember the flyer. I don't remember being there.
Well, I want to
don't
ask you
go that
this.
many shows.
You did mention you saw Guar after you left at City Gardens. Was that the show where they opened up for Danzig?
No,
No?
no,
Okay.
I don't think so.
Because they played the first ever
No.
Danzig show. They opened for
it wasn't.
Danzig at City Gardens.
No, no, but I did see Godflesh opened up for
Oh.
Danzig and get booed and had things thrown at him because the metalheads couldn't deal with what they were throwing out. And they put on a brilliant set.
Wow, I never saw
Yeah.
Godflesh, but I saw
I
Justin
booked
do like a solo thing like last year. It
I
was
booked
just
him-
him on a laptop with smoke and nothing, and just drinking a beer, just pushing buttons.
I booked them in New Orleans at this
Mhm.
little club called Monaco Bob's Touchdown Lounge. One of the most
Wow. That's
that
a lot of
was as New
syllables.
Orleans as it got for me, being there from Philadelphia. And yeah, I cut my teeth on New Orleans in that place. Let's just put it that way. I booked them in there. It had a capacity of like 300 people.
Mhm.
There was like 450 in there. I had a full sound system in there, and it was just everybody. There was like another 300 people outside. No, about 200 people outside.
About what year was that?
It had to be 2099.
So like before they broke up the first time, I guess.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
and Ted Parsons was drumming for him.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it had to be early. Oh my God, I've lived in so many different places. I get the years mixed up. It had to be in the 90s.
Mhm.
It had to be. Yeah, it was in the 90s. It was late 90s.
My favorite Godflesh is Songs of Love and Hate.
I like all their albums.
Yeah.
Even the latest stuff he put out was as brutal as the first stuff. It was actually more brutal than the first stuff he put out. Justin Broderick is genius. I love everything he does.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a force.
Yeah, but yeah, I booked them in that little club. I should have booked them at a bigger place. I didn't think it would pack like that.
Yeah,
I
it got
had
packed up,
DOA.
right?
I
Mhm.
booked DOA down there, and I lost my pants. Like 10 people paid
Oh,
DOA in New Orleans. It was on a weeknight, but still,
right.
I had to pay them out of my pocket.
Yeah. That's why I'm not a promoter.
No, that Godflesh show is one of the only shows I ever actually made money on.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
good.
So good that we talked about it. So yeah, so that's pretty much all I'm doing.
Godflesh.
Just
Nice.
old men sitting in an office playing music into a computer. That's what I do now.
I think that's going to be the rest of my life.
I still
We
like
should
to write.
collaborate on something. We should make a track together.
I want to start writing though, and
Mhm. Right.
so I can't do music and write,
Hmm.
because then they'll both be half.
What do you want to write about? Are you gonna?
I have a lot of stories.
Oh, so it's gonna be like an autobiographical writing.
Some of it's going to be fiction based on fact, and just crazy things I've seen. Just elaborate on it, and
Mhm.
I don't know, we can give it a crack.
Mhm.
Everybody says, "Oh, you should write a book. You should write a book." I'm getting tired of hearing that.
Yeah.
I'll write the
Don't
book.
talk about it. Do it.
People
Right.
read it. So, I'll name it. I'll name it. Isolated Cockpit, so I know nobody will read it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's my band has. We have tens of fans. Isolated Cockpit. I'm proud of that. I'm proud that I'm making.
You're the
music.
underground of the underground.
I'm
It's
making
great.
music as an old man that makes young people just go, "What the fuck is that?" You know,
Like,
what I mean?
Where did that name come from? Because I was thinking like, oh, is that like a solo project because it's isolated? But
An
not
old friend
really.
of mine, Johnny Mutone, Johnny Knuckles. That album you just held up, I named it after him in memory of him. Johnny Knuckles versus the Sea Weasel.
Right.
He
Are there-
passed away a few years ago.
Are there more isolated Cockpit CDs, or is this it?
That's the only one I put on the CD. There's going to
Okay,
be a
that's
couple
what I
more
thought.
coming out in the next couple of months.
Okay, great.
I got enough for 3 albums.
Okay,
Just haven't put it out. I have one that's for download only, but I'm going to put that out.
right.
But
I'll buy it.
he turned me on. I think it was it Cool Keith or some rapper from early 2000s. So.
Mhm.
And he was singing about something, and the word isolated cockpit came out.
Hmm.
I said, I like that. I like that. I think I'll use that. And I did.
Nice.
No special reason. I just heard it, and I took it for my own.
Yeah.
So I think there was a a web zine called Isolated Cockpit at some point. But I didn't find that out till after the fact.
Shh, I won't tell.
Like it matters.
Street Cleaner, yeah, that's like the classic, right?
Yeah.
Like Rats, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's about
Looking
it.
forward to reading your books. So I guess let's start landing this plane. Let's get back to GWAR a little bit.
Yeah, let's do that.
So I know we kind of like breezed through it. Is there any like specific moments that really like I don't know, hang your attention or
whole thing was just crazy. You know what I remember a lot, aside from doing the music, but just hanging out with Chris Bopes, Rick Ottinger, getting high, smoking weed, and playing Dungeons and Dragons. And Brocky would be there sometime too. You know, stuff like that. You know, just hanging out with the guys. And we would come up with ideas as doing that. And we actually hung out together. Towards the end, it got a little crazy. You know, I heard someone tell me that Don Dracula, I guess he has a podcast. I didn't know about that.
He has a whole media empire now.
Oh, really?
I guess you could say.
It seems like everybody from GWAR has a podcast. And
really, I think I'm the only real one. But,
okay, I'll tell that to Don.
Yeah.
And somebody asked him, why did Joe leave and this and that? And he could have asked me. I would have given him a proper answer, but he came up with the closest answer.
Okay.
That wasn't a lie. And, you know, me and Brocky both had strong personalities, and we both knew what we wanted. And it started getting kind of, you know, his way or my way. And he got wild a couple of times. And
Brocky?
Yeah, you know, he put his fingers in my face one day, and I sat down. I said, I'm not going to do this because this is going to end bad.
Right.
And then one day I was telling the guys, and this is the truth, the God's honest truth. After Steve Douglas left, and that wasn't my decision, by the way, but he was gone. Dave Brocky took over guitar. Now, Dave Brocky I liked his bass playing. His bass playing was Lemmy-like. He was good. He couldn't play guitar.
Right. Well, that was kind of the joke, though, right?
And no, it wasn't.
No.
I didn't think it was a joke.
Okay.
It sounded like shit.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest. Rick Ottinger was a really good guitar player.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay. Chris Bopes, pretty damn good bass player. And Jim Thompson.
The alternatives, they're crazy.
Kimbo,
yeah.
Even though he had only been playing drums a couple of years at that point, he was good. And he took it serious.
Yeah.
Dave Brocky's heart was in the right place. He wrote good songs. But, you know, he was ham-fisted on the guitar, and it showed in, you know, when we recorded. And people could send me all kinds of shit and say I'm an asshole for talking about him like that. But listen, that tape they put out that you just showed me, was it Then There Was GWAR or whatever?
Yeah, Let There Be GWAR.
That they had to go in and redo the guitars and remix his guitars.
Oh, I'm
This
sure.
is what I was told. And those backup vocals thrown in there, they weren't there before in the originals. And but yeah, it's a fact. Brilliant guitar player, a bass player. There is a point where I'm saying, let me play guitar and you sing. And I don't know why that did. He didn't want to be the front man, he said. He said that in his that diary he put out.
Right.
You go through
the Richmond thing he was doing.
Yeah. Right. Some of it was true, you know, so you can go back and see that. And you know, it is what it is. What can I say?
Are you proud of like your time in GWAR and what they've become?
Yeah.
And can you believe that they still even exist at like putting out toys and crap like that?
It blows me away.
Yeah.
It blows me away. Dave Brocky, this people think I'm talking bad about him. He couldn't play guitar. But him being the front man, me leaving GWAR was actually the best thing I could have done for GWAR. Okay?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because some people said they liked my vocals, and that's all well and good. But Dave Brocky was, for this particular band, he was a better front man. He did things I wouldn't even think to do.
Oh, yeah.
I just had too much shame. I just wouldn't do it. You wouldn't catch me in my 40s with my ass hanging out for everyone to see. You're not going to catch
Oh,
me.
now they're in their 50s,
Nobody wants to
60s
see that.
doing that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, their asses look different than they did 20 years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
But they're doing it, and good for them. I can't do it. Oh man, the fan art.
Yeah, the fan art. Tell me about. Here's a sampling of it. I think this is John Poppy's action
John
figure of
Poppy,
you.
man. His stuff. You ever see his stuff?
Oh yeah, he made one of me.
It's amazing. He did the
Let me see.
whole dim time
Oh yeah, he's done everyone.
show.
I need to redo my Guar cave here because it's falling
Drawing's
apart.
pretty cool too.
Where is it? I think
I forget the kid's name who did that drawing. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I'm not sure whose that was.
I
Here,
gotta
this
find
is
that now. I
this
forget
is. Oh, let me.
I can't
full
read what it
screen
says. I don't want to say the wrong
there.
name.
That's my Kevin the Dinosaur. That's
That's
me
awesome.
by John Poppy.
Yeah, it's
my
good.
green Jello character.
You know, a lot of these fans are really cool. I'm friends with a few of them, not a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them.
It's the true fans that go that deep. Oh yeah. So I have some. I got some old pictures from your Facebook. Tell me what these are. That's Judicial Fear.
Singer. He passed away quite a few years ago.
Where are you playing? I think it's like
that's in Virginia Beach at somebody's skate ramp. And you want to know something?
Yeah.
A biker gang who's going to remain nameless showed up to this and started beating the shit out of people. And then the cops came and we were all running because there was beer everywhere and kegs. Every time we played, the cops came and we played an outside show or a house party.
Right.
And this was playing. This is Minor Threat back here.
Oh wow!
Yeah, we opened up for them.
Right, you were mentioning that.
That was the most important.
That's incredible. Show. Were you a fan of Minor Threat? You must have been, right?
Oh yeah,
yeah,
of course. But that was to me that's one of the top 3 most important shows I ever did. That the Bad Brain shows.
And where was this Minor Threat?
That was
show?
at Benny's
in Richmond.
Yeah, in Richmond. Mm-hmm. We came up from Norfolk to play. Oh, that's such a fruity looking picture.
Yeah, I got all the. Oh yeah, and then this is you in here, right? In this classic
this
picture.
is me up there with the big horns, right in front of Heather and Gorgor.
And is the roof of the dairy? I'm guessing.
Yes. Yeah, the news they came and took pictures.
Nice, and this was
I was gone like a couple of months later.
Right. Yeah, good stuff. And then here's some flyers. Flood Zone. Who did this art? Was this Dave?
That was Dave Brock. No, actually, Hunter. I think.
Or Chuck,
I
maybe.
think Hunter did the ink, and Brocky. No, Hunter did the pencils, and Brocky did the ink. I think, if I remember.
That sounds about right.
I did the red. I took a bunch of them, and I just took red mark and
cool.
On them and put them out.
Did you do any Guar art?
Yeah, I would, but they didn't use it. I mean,
do you still have it?
I used my stuff down and put his up.
Yeah.
So
I'd love to see it. Did it get lost in the hurricane?
Yeah. I don't have any of those.
Oh man.
That's the original storyline.
Right. And that's
they put out another one changing it. They changed the origin of Guar.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's been kept really well.
And then of course there's the CD. Yeah, and I think that's like the one famous picture of you. Where was this at? Do you know where this was taken?
This was taken at not Casablanca. It changed. It went from Casablanca to Rockets. That's Rockets.
Rockets. Mm-hmm.
I played at that place in 3 different incarnations. As Judicial Fear, it was Casablanca. With Guar, I played. The name of the club then was
Rockets.
Rockets, and then I played there with Throttle. It was the Metro.
Gotcha.
So yeah,
Throttle. There's the tape, right?
I don't know who made that cover.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
That was we had a demo that we sent to labels.
Gotcha.
You wound up putting
that's the cassette
that's the
run,
cover
right?
of the tape, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool art. Did you make that art? Is this one?
I made that art in like 10 minutes. I forgot to make a cover because no, this is going to press now.
Oh no.
So I had to sit there. That's written on the blueprint of the cassette itself, the case, the cover. So I just drew it in scale and used colored pencil. I said, what the hell? Just tell them a 5-year-old did it, and we sent it in.
Didn't Rigor Mortis have an EP called Freaks? I think.
I don't know. Yeah. I never looked to see who else used things.
There you go. What
new freaks?
So Freaks and New Freaks on the Block. So was I guess the new.
If you ever saw those guys play live, you know they were freaks.
Yeah. The New Kids on the Block, they must have been a thing at the time, right? Is that
Yeah, they were. We were New
that's
Kids.
like
I had a
yeah.
T-shirt that said "New Kids Suck," and I had one of those black New Kids hats. I used to wear.
Oh yeah, I
We
have
didn't
some.
have stage presence, man. Let's just put it that way.
That's fair.
Once I
Here's
took the costume off, it was hard being me.
I do love some of these old flyers. I did
Yeah,
a bunch of these
that
old
one on the right.
flyers.
Just threw them together and put them up.
Yeah.
They
Let's
got
see.
better along the line. We didn't do these flyers. I did
There's
one
the
on
Bad
left.
Rain show.
That's the one I did. I did that flyer.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know who did this Throttle flyer. Dead Spot,
Dead
Dominant
Spot.
Throttle. Amazing Philly band. They were all local bands. Grand Illusion, there was like a loft that I lived in. They used to have shows there, and it
Nice.
paid the rent.
Oh, see, I want to bring back the Rent Party.
Yeah, that's what they were.
Yeah.
We had, this is after we left, the guy who took it over from us, he had Rape Man. Steve Albini's Rape Man
Oh wow.
play there.
R.I.P. Steve Albini.
Was he in Rape
Oh,
Man or it was, I think it was
Big
Rape.
Black.
No, it wasn't Big
No.
Man. No, it was well after Big Man. It was Rape Man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just love all these old flyers. They're
This was at the
super
Cafe
cool.
Bar in New Jersey. These shows here were big. White Cross,
Yeah.
we played with White Cross a lot.
Oh, here's the one with Death Biggie.
That's the one I was telling you about. That was
17
pre-Christmas
bands.
Death Sale. Look at all the bands that played that.
Yeah, that's a good.
Doughboys didn't make it. They didn't play.
Mm-hmm.
But the one on the left, the White Cross, Adrenaline OD, Graven
Honor
End,
Roll.
the Beaks Honor Roll. They were amazing.
Some of them joined GWAR, right? Honor Roll? No.
I
They
don't-
were
oh,
around at the
actually,
same time.
I don't know.
I know the name. I think maybe people just talk about
back
them.
34 years.
Yeah, totally. All right. Anyways, I got all these
Go
cool
back.
flyers.
Yeah, those are good flyers. I made
Serial. Oh, the Serial Killers.
Yeah, we played with the Serial Killers a lot. They're friends of ours.
Okay.
Philly
Yeah.
band.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I made that one on the right, that flyer.
That's a good one.
I drew
yeah.
that. And yeah, Serial Killers again.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Philly. Shotgun Wedding was a good band. You know who was in this band?
No,
played
who?
guitar in this band? Roy Mayorga.
Who's that?
He's the drummer for Ministry.
Oh, okay.
Soulfly.
Gotcha.
And now he's with the Melvins, and I think
Okay.
he's going out with somebody else big. That boy, Mayorga. But this is when he was like a kid in Philly. He started off.
Wow.
Before Nausea, before any of that. He was like this 16, 17-year-old kid playing in bands.
That's so
He was
cool.
a good kid. Look at him. I'm happy for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's
he
Man is
did it,
Doomed. Man is Doomed.
Good for him.
Very cool. Here's how we usually end these things. Tell me one more funny Dave Rocky story.
Oh, there's a lot. Rocky was a funny guy, man. He was hard on people sometimes. He was really sarcastic. But I could tell you the last time I talked to him while I was still in the band.
Sure, yeah, I'd love to hear that.
This is how I quit. Because you asked me that, and I didn't really give you a definitive answer. No matter what anybody says in any of their books or their diaries, I mentioned that we were talking about this. I was trying to tell you this actually, about how I thought his guitar playing sucked on the recordings. And I guess somebody in that crowd ran to him and told him I said that, which is fine, you know. It's best that somebody told him.
Right.
And he came to my apartment, came up the fire escape, up the steps, pointing his fingers at me, saying, "So you don't think I can play guitar?" I'm like, dude, I said, "Don't get mad." And he was going off. I said, "Look, I quit. Because I was thinking, should I go with her? Should I stay?" It was a tough choice at first, but it's too many egos, mine included. I didn't think he was going to go anywhere because there's too much chaos.
That's what I was going to ask. Like, did you see a path? Not really.
That's the thing. Someone told me that Don Dracula, he said that we were, button heads, and he's right. That's pretty much what happened. I love Rocky. I thought he was brilliant. He was funny. He was a really intelligent guy. He's really creative. And he was a damn good artist too.
Oh, for sure.
And aside from me cracking on his guitar playing, you can't be good at everything.
Right.
He was an amazing bass player and an
Yes.
amazing front man and lyricist. He wrote the
Yes.
funniest lyrics. So, but that's when I quit. I quit them. And, and he just walked down the stairs and that was it. And I've been the asshole ever since. So, but
Wait.
I've always,
Yeah.
stood by him. It's like if he did good, I was happy for him. I was never not happy for him. I'm in awe at what they've been able to do. It is still going on. The thing that me and Brocky talked about, the whole, as long as you just get new members, it can keep on going on forever and ever.
And I kind of hope it does.
I can
'cause
see
I
it
think it's
happening,
incredible. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the stuff they did, the cartoons, the Grammy, that
Well, yeah.
I
You
just
must have?
shook my head at that one. I just like, what?
What
That's
did you think of the
great.
documentary that they made?
It was good. It was well done. I mean, I was upset that I went down and I gave him like an hour and a half, 2 hour interview.
Oh, really?
They were going to do that. Let there be Gwar, the dim times.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm talking about the
And
other. Yeah.
no, I did. That's what I'm talking. I'm saying I
Mhm.
did see that one, but because I didn't see the first one because it
Right.
didn't get made. So
Right.
I did see it.
It's made.
I
It's
thought
just
it was
not
made
out.
well. It was made well.
Yeah.
And I can understand, like I said, they've been doing it for 30 something odd years. That's their story to tell.
Right.
None of those guys were there for that early stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't in the band then. So why the hell should they care? So
Yes.
and the documentary was well done. It was professionally done. That thing there is, it's like a man on the street kind of deal, which is why I liked it actually.
Oh, wow.
I think
John
one day
says,
it might come out one day.
yeah, it's out there.
There's
It's just
stuff
not
that
officially
someone
out
has,
there.
old videos that hopefully I'll get to see one day.
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
like to see the videos of the first two shows I did. We
I
did
would
a
like to see
show.
that too.
We played an impromptu thing with no makeup. The first ROG show, I like to call it.
Oh, really? Tell us about that.
It was at somebody's campus apartment. It was a big space though, and there was a party going on. It was bands were playing, and we got up and did 2 or 3 songs. We did the new ones: "Time for Dead," "Slutman City." I think we did "Save the Seals," and
I gotta hear the song "Save the
I don't think
Seals,"
anybody
man.
took pictures.
Yeah.
Nobody did anything, and that was like 3 days before my first show. So yeah, but I haven't seen any videos. The only pictures I see when they come up on these types of things,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but that's how I quit. And funny stories of Brocky, they're all funny. Well, not all of them.
Yeah. Give me one last Brocky.
I don't know. I always thought that I had funnier stories with Bopst and those
Oh,
guys.
tell me a Bob story.
Yeah, I remember.
He was on the show.
Well, I remember when Alternatives. This is after they quit. When the
Yeah.
Alternatives came to Philly to play at the Khyber, and I was working that night, but I was able to stop in between, and I went and say hi to them, and they're like, "Oh shit," And I remember in Richmond once, Bob's telling me that I was like a lost puppy in Brooklyn, from Brooklyn in Richmond. But when I saw them up there, I surprised the hell out of them, and I asked them. I said, "You guys quit? How you really did it?" And they said, "Yeah." And I don't blame them.
Well, they were on SST Records.
Listen,
They were
Alternatives
touring.
were my
Yeah.
very most favorite band from Richmond. They're still one of my
Okay.
favorite bands. That band still holds up. There's a band, I can't think of another band that holds up like they did. Honor Roll, but they're not getting back together.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But Alternatives, those 3 albums they put out, I still listen to them.
Yeah, I got them in my cave here somewhere.
They took the chance and they put out 3 really good albums. So I would be proud of that. They don't play anymore, those guys. Jim Thompson does now.
Yeah, he does.
I like to see those guys how they're doing.
Check them all out. They've all been on the show.
Well, I like what he's doing. I like Chuck Varga's doing great. You know what I mean? He's healthy. He's doing good things, and I like seeing all those guys still. And even if it's just on Facebook,
Mm-hmm,
and
for sure.
yeah, I'm still friends with them, talking to them for the most part. So I like that. It was a good time of my life. I'm happy I did it. I'm glad I was there at the beginning to see all that stuff that people don't even know about. Yeah, this creating stuff with the milk bottle, it was a gas. It was cool. You took it for granted back then.
Right.
When I think about it now, I said that was one of the, top 5 moments of my life, that 1.5 year span when I lived in the bottom doing GWAR music and playing those shows. Do I wish I stayed a little bit longer? I wish I stayed long enough to put out Hello.
Yeah.
That would have been
Yeah,
good
that would have been
because,
great.
a couple of my songs, in a way, some of me made it in there, a lot of the early stuff that we did made it in there in a way. I was part of that group. That was a good album. But I'm
I didn't
equally
get.
impressed with the last 2 albums they put out with Bishop. So
I think those are some of the best albums they've
it's
ever
amazing.
done.
He's a great.
Like if I was gonna give someone a new fan who's never
I'm
heard
glad that
GWAR an
he's the guy
album,
that took over. Because if somebody who wasn't already in GWAR from back in the day, or somebody affiliated with him, didn't take it over, I don't think it would still be together now.
I think I agree. Yeah,
It
I
had to
think
be
that was the
somebody.
best
It had to
possible
be somebody that
solution.
was close with Dave. It was the perfect choice for them. And the guy can sing, let's face it.
Yeah, Bishop really understands it.
Yeah. So I told you the first 2 shows he did, I saw him and he killed it.
Yeah.
I'm glad I got to see those shows.
You gonna go see them again? They're touring all the time.
If I'm in Philadelphia when they come, I'll go see them.
I'll let you know because you know what? Yeah. Well, I think
last time I went, who always hooks me up is Andrew Riley. He's always been cool with me.
Right.
He's always showed me some respect, and he got me passes or whatever.
Nice.
So he always looked out for me.
Nice. Shout out to Andrew.
Yeah, well, he's like he's like the grunt for that band, isn't he?
I think so. I always hear his name. I think I've met him a couple times.
He's the one that keeps everything together.
Yeah, he's got the long white beard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've taken his picture before. They usually give me photo passes now. It's great. So, because I'm a photographer, so
yeah, I'm not going to get a photo pass, but
yeah.
I never take good photos.
Well,
I take a lot of pictures of the show, but I'm always too far up or too far away, and they always come out looking like shit.
Yeah. Do you not want to get bloody, or how do you feel about the blood these days?
You know what? I've gotten bloody a few times, especially in New Orleans. It was fun. I don't know if I would do it now.
Yeah.
Maybe I would. Depends on
it's
how.
Still a good time. It's not so sticky anymore. So
it's been 10 years since I saw him, so I'm due to go see him again. It's funny. I see him like every 10 years for the last 40 years.
Well, they got their new guitar player. I
want to check him out. I heard he's really good.
He is great.
It's awesome.
If you want to see this for you and the audience, if you haven't checked it out, he was on GWARPod, Tommy Meehan, Squid Pisser, Cancer Christ.
Am I the last holdout?
No.
I've ever done. I don't like doing them.
Yeah, well, that's why we appreciate it so much. Yeah. I hope. Did you get everything out? Your GWAR story? The
ones that I could think of. Yeah. I mean, look, it was a good time. It was the beginning. I made lifelong friends. A lot of memories in Richmond. Played a couple of memorable shows, and. Yeah, you can't take that away from me.
Yeah. Let's see, holdouts. I don't know. Well, Danielle, she said
Danielle was always cool. I loved her.
She said she's going to do it, but she wants to be the cherry on the top. She wants to wait a little bit longer.
I remember when I was in GWAR, she was just a college kid with braces.
Wow.
Cute kid, nice girl. Still a nice girl.
Yeah, we talked on the phone a couple of times.
She's awesome. I love what she did in GWAR. I kind of miss her in GWAR.
Bundle. Oh, me too, man. But they need some female energy.
She can still do it.
Yeah, that's true.
She looks the same.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking of females in GWAR, I gotta shout out the next episode is gonna be Volvatron.
She was in that first show I saw.
Yeah, she did that one tour and then she was out. So we're gonna hear.
This should be
no. This one's a little bit earlier than usual because she's living overseas somewhere, so it's a weird time zone difference thing going on. But yes, we're gonna finally get the Kim Dilla story. And there's a couple people I'm still looking for that I want to talk to. Scott Krall, Mike Bonner.
Oh, Scott Krall hasn't done one. Mike Bonner.
I don't know. I try to send them messages. I don't think they see
Mike Bonner first came on the scene. Yeah, I was leaving as he was, hanging out.
Like there's a couple people I definitely want to talk to that I just don't know how to get in touch with. So if anyone out there wants to tell them I'm looking for them, they're welcome on the show anytime for sure. Scott Krall, Mike Bonner, those are my top lists. And Mike, all the mics.
Mike, did you get Greg Ottinger?
No, you didn't get him. He's a recluse.
I don't think I got Greg Ottinger, but I got Jim Thompson. I got
Good.
Stephen Douglas. You know,
Tim
all
Curry?
the.
How about
I don't think him yet.
no?
I gotta like remember everyone's names that I've talked to. It's like crazy how many people have been in Guar.
Yeah, like I said, the first 2
Colette
years,
was on the show. Hunter,
Yeah, she's
John,
awesome.
Chuck. You know, I
yeah,
got a
it
lot
was
of
cool
them.
to see that whole Angel Wings thing she did. I
Oh,
saw
yeah.
her in New York in front of the Pyramid Club in the '90s when Throttle was playing a show. She was just hanging
Dude.
out, and like that's the last time I saw her in person.
Oh wow.
90s,
Yeah. The Pyramid Club is now
I love the Pyramid.
Baker Falls
Yeah, everything's
and the
gone.
Knitting Factory. It's
Yeah.
they revamped it and it's called something else now. But I spent a lot of time in the Pyramid
Cool
Club.
old clubs. I mean, is the pipeline in Newark still around? North Newark?
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I played all those old clubs.
Yeah. Yeah, but the building still
Pyramid was a
exists.
special place, man.
Yeah, it really
That
was.
dressing room was a special place.
Probably even more so back then.
It was
Nice.
in the '90s. Yeah, in the mid '90s, early '90s, it was special. I'm glad I got to see it.
Yes, it'll happen eventually, Katie. It's just keep holding on, all right?
All right.
Guar is too many mics. Yeah, Mike,
Yeah, too many mics.
who am I thinking of? Not
Mike
Delaney,
Delaney?
but Mike Delaney would be cool. I know John talked to him on his show. No,
Don, you said?
fuck, I forget his name already. I'm like blank. My capacity for names is just like terrible.
I lose every year. I lose.
Bonner Crawl, Evans, yeah, Dirks. I've talked to. He doesn't want to do it, but he has blessed the show. He knows who I am. Roberts, yeah, Land. I've talked to. Dave Muscle. That's who I'm thinking
Muscle.
of.
He's another early mad scientist.
Yes, I really want to talk to Dave Muscle.
That guy.
So if anyone can get in touch with Dave Muscle for me,
it's funny how some people just disappeared.
Well, you know, they're out there. It's just like
they're doing different things. They don't make phones about being in Guar or anything.
Well, yeah, there's that, but like they're on Facebook or whatever, but they might not see my message because we're not friends or something like that. You know, it's just like they probably don't know I'm looking for them.
Right.
So, but dude, this has been so cool. Thank you so much.
I don't do these very often. I probably won't do another one, but I hope I answered some people's questions. I hope I really just wanted to speak the truth about a couple of things. That's all.
Did you speak your truth?
I didn't think were cool to be said.
Right.
I didn't try to, anything with Hunter's. I'm pretty sure if I did, Hunter would have said something to me because he's no punk.
Yeah.
So
no, I love Hunter.
Yeah.
He did the GWARPod logo art.
Yeah. No, listen, his art was the shit, man. I loved his art, and
so
he would pop things out like that.
Yeah. Yes, thank you very much. We all appreciate it. We want the Throttle reissue, mega compilation.
Maybe I'll do a GoFundMe.
Yeah, hey.
See how people how they actually want it. How bad
yeah, that's possible.
That might be the only way I do that.
Yeah.
But, if you're on my Facebook, you see I put up new music all the time, and we're on Bandcamp.
Yes, it's in the scroll.
I haven't put anything new on Bandcamp for a while.
I
haven't been taking it serious. I just been making the music, putting it on SoundCloud under Isolated Cockpit, if you want to look it up. And I've got like about 70 songs, 50 or 60 songs up there from like 5 different projects.
And 3 albums coming. That's what he said.
I had 3 albums worth of music. I don't know if all this.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair.
I'll have to listen to it.
Let me do a remix for you.
We even, I'm getting bored because we even working on a cover. We did a cover of, we did a Hendrix cover, Manic Depression.
Mm-hmm.
We did a cover of Styx, Mr. Roboto.
Oh, I heard that one. Yeah, it's very weird. It was
on
super
YouTube.
weird.
I made a video using.
I think it's on your Bandcamp too.
It's on Bandcamp.
Yeah.
And we just did a cover of. We just did a fruity cover of the Moody Blues, Nights in White Satin. And right now, our next cover is going to be coming out within a week.
Oh, we heard it here.
Portishead Sour Times.
Oh, wow. I love Portishead.
I don't know what I think, but
I always wanted to do a cover of All Mine
this
with
could
like
be the
metal
last stuff
drums.
I don't know. because I'm hopefully going to be doing some traveling come September, October, for a while, and doing some different things. And who knows when I'll be recording with these guys again.
Right.
I'll have to get set up to be able to send music back and forth online.
Yeah, that's always a possibility.
Yeah, I just don't have the equipment. They have all of that.
All you just need one of these
The
guys.
interface,
That's
yeah.
it.
Yeah, that's a good phosphate.
This and a microphone. That's all you
Yeah.
need.
Yeah. I'll do
Well,
it.
I'm looking forward to it. Now I'm really looking forward to that Portishead cover because I love Portishead. You're like,
Yeah.
no, don't get
It's
too
hard for me
excited.
because everybody knows me for singing like this, you know, and
Right.
growling or screaming or being ugly. But I'm actually singing on these.
Yeah.
I mean, after 40 years of doing this, more than 40 years, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want. I don't care what anybody thinks.
It feels
I
like
don't
that's always been kind of your spirit.
Well,
though.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I've made so much money at it.
Right, exactly.
I've always had a job or something, you know. It's like,
Yeah.
just do what I want. Not to say that I wouldn't have taken somebody's help if they want to put out an album, give us money to tour.
Right.
But I don't think I would have been good at that lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Well, there you
Smelling
go.
guys' asses and shit all day long. I don't.
It's a little rough. Yeah.
Van life. The little bit I did it, I wasn't a fan.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I just
It's
wasn't.
not for everybody. Yeah.
No.
I
like recording. I like recording.
Yeah, keep at it recording.
I'll be doing that forever.
It's unlimited. Somebody asked me before you came back in if Green Jelly was coming to Massachusetts. Probably if you want your Green Jelly stickers from me, hit me up.
I liked what Green Jelly did.
Yeah, I'm a member of Green Jelly.
Are you really?
Yeah, I do shows with them when they come to the East Coast.
I had no idea.
For 16 years, I've been in Green Jelly.
Played when they played in Delaware?
No.
No.
Did you see them there?
No, I almost went, but I didn't go.
You should go see Green Jelly if they come around. It's a different band every night.
I remember when that Three Little Wolves thing,
Three Little Pigs,
came out when it first came out, and they got really big on MTV. I said, "Now, why didn't that happen for GWAR?"
I know.
You know what I mean? That kind of blew me away because I didn't think they were particularly better or good even.
No, that was their whole thing, is that they sucked.
And the animation was funny.
Yeah, it was a brilliant video.
It's not like a song that I would listen to. You know, I gotta listen to that song. You know, it's not one of those kind of songs.
I mean, it was a gold record.
Was it?
Yeah, oh yeah,
it went
for sure.
gold?
Oh yeah, it was
huge. Gold record, don't they?
Probably by now, I would hope so, but I'm not sure. I mean, that was like at the time. I think GWAR was probably just a little too offensive.
You know, those other bands come out, they're all wearing masks now. What's up with that?
Yeah, there's a lot of mask bands. GWAR back then never really had that like music video moment. I mean, I guess they had the Beavis and Butthead.
When you say back then, you mean in the 80s or the 90s?
I mean like early 90s. Like Scumdogs didn't have like a great video.
They were doing their own things. They were doing their own videos.
No,
you can't say they weren't doing anything. One of them.
No, they were doing stuff. I just mean they didn't have like that music video MTV moment. You know, like Stick of You was not on MTV.
They didn't start doing that stuff until like
a couple years later,
right? Like after 2004.
Oh well, they had their videos on MTV in like '94.
Yeah, well, I guess Saddam a Go-Go, right?
Saddam a Go-Go, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Road Behind.
Yeah.
You know, but that that was from Palace.
And it doesn't look like they're stopping anytime soon.
No, it seems like. Let's see. Yes.
Pretty soon they're gonna have to get some new young people.
I know. Well, they're starting to. Yes, Quello and Green Jelly. I won't be there, but go check it out. I wish I could be there. Quello is a band that covers GWAR and Green Jello, and they're also members of Green Jello.
Good.
Yeah, it's a whole like.
So, members of Green Jello and another band covering Green Jello.
Yes, but I think they have originals now too. Since they're in Green Jello now, I don't know what they do live. I've never actually seen them live.
That's interesting.
I've played Green Jello shows with the members, and Psycho will be on this show eventually. We gotta just work out a date. Yeah, Green Jello. There's over 1,000 of us now, and
let me ask you a question.
Sure, go ahead.
GWARPod.
Okay.
So you've obviously been through almost everybody. What happens if you run out of old GWAR people to talk to?
Well, that's what I was thinking. Maybe for the next season, I'll bring like 2 or 3 people on at a time, and they can kind of talk to each other.
That might work.
Would you come back for that?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Depends on who the other 2 people are.
Right. Well, yeah, we'd have to figure it out. I mean, it wouldn't be a
If you were
surprise.
with Bopes
Yeah, sure.
and Jim Thompson, I would do it in a heartbeat. Or
All right.
or Chuck, I'd do it in a
Yeah.
heartbeat. Yeah.
I would love to have Chuck back on, you know, especially.
Yeah. I do it with Bishop.
Okay. Well,
You know,
it's an idea.
you know
Yes.
him, you know what I mean?
There's so many of you guys, so I got it. Yeah, probably maybe in like a year or 2, I'll start doing something
You could have
different.
me and Bishop going fishing, talking about the old days.
Dude, that would be great. Yeah.
Because I like fishing too, you know.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it. I hate fish in the ocean, but you guys can.
Oh no,
It's a good jump off point for sure.
More like lakes, lake
Yeah.
fishing. That's what I'm about.
Yeah, yeah.
Freshwater fishing.
Yeah, I don't eat fish. I don't
want
touch
to
them.
catch anything that might kill me.
Right. Only a monster on stage.
Right.
Yes.
Well, any last questions before I go?
Hey, the people in the audience, do you have any last minute show? Yeah, how do you pronounce your last name correctly?
Slutman. No, it's Annaruma. Annaruma. Annaruma.
Yes. Annaruma.
Yeah, you should bring Bohabs on the show.
Yeah,
Some of
sometimes
these fans are really out there, man.
I have them sometimes.
there.
Humongous was on the show. So I do some fan episodes. If you guys are really interesting people and you make cool, or John Poppy was on the show talking about his action figures and stuff.
If anybody wants to put together a GWAR tribute band and needs a singer, get in touch.
Oh, okay. Well, there's
that play.
there's another one called Foire. They were also on the show.
So there are
Mhm.
GWAR tribute bands.
There's 1 or 2 of them, yeah.
That's like,
And they have the costumes and
how
everything.
do you compete? You know?
You can't. I would, if I was going to put that much effort into something, it would be something original because that's a lot of effort. But I respect them for it.
That's how I feel about doing this cover of Portishead.
Mhm.
Because the cover is okay. It's never
Right.
going to be as good as the original.
No,
How am I going to top her?
you can't.
You can't.
She's
Why did I
incredible.
even pick that song? It was a mistake. But we did it, and it's already done.
Mhm.
And we'll see. I'm still toying with the idea of putting it out, but we're still working on it.
Dude, you got to put it out. So are you hitting those high notes or do you go low? instead?
No, I'm not hitting no high notes. No, I'm not even singing that great on it. But
Mhm. Well, if it's anything like your Mr. Roboto cover, expect
no,
something
Mr.
totally
Roboto was
weird.
funny. That was funny.
Okay, yeah, that was a weird one.
Yeah, that was funny. That was fun to do. The video was fun to do too.
I don't know if I saw the video. I'll have to check it out.
Isolated Cockpit. Just
Yeah.
go on YouTube and Isolated Cockpit. That's the name of my channel.
Gotcha.
It's like 50 videos. So 71 videos.
Who came up with your helmet concept?
I don't know. The first helmet I was wearing was that hockey helmet, that old timey hockey helmet at that. And we painted it black and silver, and glued some of those studs that they were making,
Mhm.
because they were making all that stuff. They were making molds. We were molding styrofoam and all kinds of shit from the very get go. It definitely was the start to where they got to in the 90s.
Right.
Where
Yeah.
it started taking more form, you could tell when you looked at it. That was an old like toy gun holster.
Right.
Some kid's Wild West playset, and football shoulder pads, hockey pads, painted black and silver and put studs on them.
Here, here's a last GWAR question for you. If you had continued in the band and it took more of the direction you wanted it to go in, what direction would
It
that
would
be?
have failed.
It would have failed. What was it though? Like, what was your
It
vision
was
going forward?
playing real metal.
Mhm.
See,
You were 20 years too
Norman-
early with that.
Norman writes in his book that, first they were saying that I got kicked out because I was trying to do. That's the words they use. Hanky panky with Heather, which is total bullshit.
That's in the book.
I was living with my girlfriend.
Yeah.
No, that's not in the book. That's
Oh,
what
okay.
Rocky said in his diary thing he did.
Yeah.
And he came back later and said, no, actually, it had something to do with him being in the mafia. Oh, I mean, not being a good guitar player. He never appreciated me saying that stuff about his guitar playing, and I feel bad about that. But
yeah, but it was true. I mean,
it was
we
true.
all
I'm not
know
the only one
that he
that
wasn't a
said it.
very good guitar player.
Listen, I did them a favor, like I said.
Yeah, yeah.
He took over where he should have been, and they got some real guitar players behind him, and the rest is history. If I stayed in the band doing what I thought should have been done, real metal, and it would have been more violent stuff, less sexual, perverse shit, because I was just never that person. You know, I never found that stuff funny. Not to say it didn't have merit. It's just not the kind of stuff that I would come up with.
Yeah.
But you know, the violent stuff. Yeah, sure. That was in my tool belt. But I would have done more. I would have said, let's play real metal, and then make fun of it. You know, meant to go over the top with it, but they didn't want to do it at the time. And then he writes in his book that I had to leave because I thought it was a good idea to play real metal, which would have defeated the purpose. Which cracked me up because he wasn't even there.
Right.
He wasn't there. You know.
Yeah.
So it didn't feel.
And that's what they ended up doing anyway. So
that's what I'm saying. And I wrote him on email. I said, well, you know, you guys kind of did that anyway. You just waited an extra 10 years. But they did do it. But, you know, that's another reason why I got kicked out. I quit for a girl. And, you know, Brocky tried to get me going once when I came back to get my stuff. And he goes, oh, you're back. I said, no, I'm not back for good. So you just do it, man. He really, when they say he didn't want to be the front man, he really didn't. He didn't want to be the front man. But that doesn't mean he didn't want to be the puppet master.
Right.
Because you still had to do things the way he wanted them. And, you know, Don was right. That's pretty much what happened too. I told you, it was many reasons why I left. The last straw being him coming over and kind of putting his hands on my face because he didn't like what I said about his guitar playing. That was the last straw. But it had a lot to do with, you know, there could only be one big ego.
Right.
It's either going to be him or me. And
there was already Hunter in the mix too.
That's what I'm saying. And he was already down with all these guys who went to school, all these guys. I was the outsider. So I wouldn't even attempt to, you know, say, fuck you, we're going to do it my way.
Right.
But I'm also not going to be talked to like that, you know, and have stories told about me.
Well, we have cleared the air here on the GWARPod.
Yeah, that's the only thing I had to clear the air. I had no qualms. I had no bitterness. I love those guys. I'm happy for them. That was like a great time of my life. I'm glad I did it. I think it was good that I left when I did. It wouldn't have lasted as long if I was the lead.
Right.
I can't believe that. Well, Throttle lasted 36 years because for 8 years I wasn't in the band anymore. None of us were. I was in New Orleans. So it was really only 26 years. But that's still, you know, I don't last that long with anything or anybody.
That's why we need the anthology, Throttle anthology coming soon.
What do you mean? Of music?
Yes.
There's only a couple of different recordings of people.
Yeah, really. I know. It'll probably all fit on one CD, right?
No. And the early stuff was pretty bad. You know, you heard it. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I recorded the best. It was on a 4-track. That was done on 8-track.
Ooh, fancy.
No, that was recorded by Otto Capobianco, who's played in NAS actually here in Philadelphia.
Nebula Studios, Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Nice.
He recorded all our stuff. So, but yeah, so you know how I quit? That was the real story. That's the only thing I had to get off my mind. And apparently no one has any questions. So,
yeah, you guys don't have any questions. I guess you've answered everything.
See, this is why I don't do the interviews. It's really
well, there's only so many details we can dig up, I guess.
No, I mean, it was great. I gave you everything I had, really. I mean, I was friends with all those guys. We had fun. I remember a funny thing. Me and Brocky driving all the way down to Norfolk For our first show, we had a bunch of flyers. We were putting flyers everywhere up in Norfolk. Went to an old roommate of mine, Vic Demise, and plastered a whole bunch on his door and around his door jam, like about 50 of them.
Nice.
And left.
Did he show up?
No, he didn't
What?
show up.
Oh,
He was in
man.
Richmond. He wasn't going to come up to see us. A couple of people from Norfolk came up to see the show, though.
That's good.
So yeah, so it worked. But yeah, that was one of the few funny times me and Brocky had.
That's
Me and
great.
Brocky didn't hang out a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
I hung out with Chris and those guys, playing Dungeons and Dragons and smoking weed or just whatever. Where I was working.
Right.
Plus, I had a girlfriend. I had to spend time with her. So yeah, that's it. There were a lot of guys in the band in the 2 years. A lot of guys. And I mentioned a couple you didn't even know were in.
Here they are, like GWAR, all these.
Oh, this is interesting.
Yeah, you ever see
88.
this?
Let's go farther back. There we go.
Yeah, this is the originals.
Or yeah, Sean Summer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Russ Bohorsky. I didn't know he was like first.
I guess so.
Yeah, Chris Belby. He's a good guy.
I mean, it doesn't say he was doing anything, though. It just says he was there.
I never met Ben Eubanks.
I was going to ask if you met Ben Eubanks.
Other than him in costume.
Yeah.
And there was, okay.
Ben, Sean, Chris,
the
Dave,
show.
Hunter,
Yes.
Heather,
Steve
Mike
Douglas.
Dillon.
That was when Steve got in the band.
Mm-hmm.
And then GWAR 2, that had to be me, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
October 30th, 1985.
Yeah. Delaney was a executioner.
The Executioner.
Yeah, he was executioner back then.
Yeah.
Everything was fresh and new.
Were you at the show when they almost hung Chris Bopst?
No, that was after.
No, that was afterwards.
Why would they do that?
I mean, it wasn't planned. It wasn't. It was just a mock hanging that went bad. I think.
Went bad.
Yeah, I think maybe there were some people talked about that.
Hung for real.
Yeah, I think his brother and Scott Kroll were
The
involved.
Rockets one, and that was the crazy show.
Yeah. Okay. Tell me about Rockets.
That's my first show. The Flood Zone wasn't my first. I guess Flood Zone was no.
No. It says before you were in GWAR 2, October 30th, 85.
Page for the show.
Yeah, and then Flood Zone, May.
Flood Zone was my second show.
May 1986. Mm-hmm.
My first show was at Rockets.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that was the Halloween show?
Yes.
It doesn't have a venue. It just has the date here.
Oh, that was at Rockets.
Good to know. We filled in that gap. Yeah, this is from the book.
That was the one when we lit up the pots and it just went nuts. The pyrotechnics. I'd love to see that video. If anybody's got a copy of that video, send me a copy. I'd like to see it.
It's either Hunter or Bob, I'm sure.
So either way, I'm not going to get it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to have to talk to those guys about their archives.
Right. Let them hang on till they die.
Mm-hmm.
I'll see it one day.
Right. We just have to outlive them all. That's what we need to do.
No, I'm not going to wish them death.
No, of course not.
I could wait. I'm sure I'll see it one day.
I'm sure if they put, man, I'd hope one day they put out that Dim Times documentary and maybe put some of that old footage in.
What I saw,
I want to see that Schaefer Court show.
It looked really interesting. It was kind of old school, it was interesting.
You saw it?
I saw. Well, they had the.
There was like a preview of it.
Yeah, there was a preview of it. It was like
it is. I've heard it's actually finished. It's floating around. But
they don't want to tell that story.
Yeah.
Don't forget that was made while Brocky was still alive.
Yeah.
So maybe some of the stuff that was said, I don't know. Maybe they don't want to go out. I don't know.
No, I think the other documentary just took over. I think is sort of.
I was told by them, and I get it,
mm-hmm.
that they only wanted to do it about the guys who stayed with the band. So
there's a market for GWAR stuff. We will buy anything. So if they put it out, we will buy it. I think that was more of a Don's project. Right?
I can see why they would put that one out first anyway.
Of course.
I think the Dim Times one, that's for a later time.
Hopefully it surfaces because I would love to see it.
I don't see them making it and not putting it out sometime.
Yeah. Like some anniversary of the band. They're always re-releasing.
I want to see Barbecue come back.
Yeah. I've actually never been to one.
2014, and that blew me away.
I think it's
That
just a
was the
lot of
most-
work.
That was the most controlled show of that size that I've ever seen in my life. I didn't see any violence
Mhm.
or any strife whatsoever. Everybody was just cool, you know.
Yeah.
And there's all the guys just walking around. You know what I mean? Meat Man and Misfit.
Oh,
They were just
yeah.
walking around with everybody like it was nothing.
Yeah, Tesco V. I
I've
love
never seen a
Tesco V.
show that chill before.
Were you there for the Viking funeral part?
No,
No,
I
you
wasn't
missed
there
it.
for that. I got there too late for all of that.
Yeah.
I got there for the show. I got to see Keep Home, which blew me away. I always thought they were great.
I love Keep On. Never saw him live.
Got to see, Ice-T, and
Body Count.
Body Count. And,
Yeah.
what they call the Misfits now, which was still a good show.
Yeah. I think it was
Meat
Dead.
Men,
Yeah, I love the Meat Men. I
that
think
was
that was when Dez was
that was a
still in the
phenomenal show.
Misfits too, I think.
I got a hold of going. I tried to get my band Throttle and to play a show there, and he stayed. He said, "Oh, maybe next year." That's what he told me.
10 years later, yeah.
Maybe next year. Never heard from him again.
Well, they stopped doing it. I mean, I guess it was a lot of work for not a lot
Listen,
of
it was
return.
a lot of work. Those guys did a good job.
For
that
sure,
was
yeah.
the most well put together. I mean, I didn't see any, even the lines for stuff. Everything was smooth.
Nice.
I give them kudos because I've never seen. I mean, listen, Lollapalooza. I went to the first one. In
Oh,
Fairfax,
wow.
Virginia.
With like
It was-
Jane's
it wasn't
Addiction
even
and
close
Nine Inch
to being-
Nails.
It wasn't even close to being as in control as the barbecue. Not even
Yeah.
close.
Did you
Yeah.
see the Boredoms?
No,
No.
I didn't see every band.
Yeah.
You
That
talking
was
about,
an interesting lineup.
no. We talking about? Are we talking about the?
Lollapalooza.
No,
I'm not sure which lineup they were in.
I
but
don't remember the Borders, but I remember seeing Jim Rose Sideshow,
Jim Rose, Nine Inch Nails.
9 Inch Nails, Ministry. I think Ice-T was there.
Yeah, I think so. Jane's Addiction.
James Addiction was there. There was a
Mhm.
lot of great bands, really.
Yeah, that was a crazy lineup.
Yeah, I
And I
was
think
there for
was
that first
maybe
one.
Susie and the Banshees or something like that.
You know
I
what?
forget.
If she was there, I didn't know that, and
Mhm.
and hearing that,
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure
don't-
she
if
might
she
have.
was, I didn't know, or we just left before she played or whatever.
Right,
'Cause
right.
The mud was just crazy.
Oh, okay.
It was just mud everywhere. It was horrible.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
Yeah,
It's like Woodstock.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But the barbecue of 2014, when Beef made his debut, that was one of the best. I'm going to call it a festival because that's what it was.
Mhm.
That was one of the best music fests I've ever seen.
Here, we got some questions
A
for
lot
you.
of great bands.
Have you listened to the Let There Be Guar demos since they were remixed by Corey Smoot? I think that's what's on the
That's
CD.
the only ones.
Yeah,
I've heard.
yeah.
I haven't listened to it for a long time. What I could do is go on what is the streaming service?
Spotify.
I can go on Spotify because apparently all those songs are on there.
Yeah, yeah.
been on there
Yeah,
for
this
years. I
album's
didn't
on
know
there. Hmm.
Didn't
I
know
guess they
that.
did remix it for this, but I guess the originals you would have to find in those old videos and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you remember the original origin of Guar? I'm not sure if I understand the question, John Poppy, but however you want to interpret
Well,
that.
I mean, yeah, the original Origin of Guar had me in it, but they changed it.
You mean the storyline or
It's
like the
all
real?
about the same. I mean, the
story?
original story it hasn't changed.
Yeah.
I mean, as Hunter wrote it, that's how it's still being portrayed. I thought.
Hmm.
Has anything changed? I don't know. I haven't followed it.
It's been pretty consistent for like
Yeah.
30 years at least. Yeah.
Like I said, they're serious about their ethos.
Yeah.
You know.
How do you feel about Guar turning 40 next year? I think they're 40 this
Astounded.
year.
I'm astounded.
Yeah, I think 84 was the official start.
Listen, Rocky, he, and these guys too. After the fact, I mean, he had some help, obviously.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna, the guys that have been in the band for like 30-something years, they had a lot to do with the success.
Sure.
I'm just saying, when we were together in the band, he had high hopes. Me, not so much. I didn't take it as seriously as he did. And that's another reason why I had no problem walking away from it. He stuck with that thing through thick and thin. That was his baby. You know, you have to admire somebody who does that, and I do. He did what he said he was going to do. They were on Joan. What's the name? Joan show.
Joan Rivers. Yeah.
Joan Rivers. These talk shows.
Mhm.
They
Incredible. Just improv genius.
Springer show.
Hmm.
Come on, that was epic.
I remember watching that on TV when it
That
aired.
was
Yeah.
epic. It was just epic.
And then Danielle was actually on another episode.
And the
of that.
Menudo aspect that he talked about, he goes, we can do this forever and ever. I don't have to be the singer. I can get somebody else in there. And look,
supposedly he was planning on
you lose one
doing
guitar
that.
player and boom, here's another one come in a whole new persona. Boom, it's done.
Hmm.
You could do it forever. Can you imagine that?
I
You'd
hope,
be like
I
80,
hope it
90 years
does.
old watching these 60-year-old whippersnappers. Yeah, bring in the new blood.
Hell
I can
yeah.
see it.
Oh yeah, here I wanted to ask you this when we were having bad connection before. You mentioned one of Brocky's bands that I had never heard of before. Something
Brown
Brown
Experience.
Brown Experience. Tell me about that.
It was
Brown
It was
Experience.
an art experiment. It was just him. I think Mike Rodriguez from White Cross, may he rest in peace. His brother was a guitar player, and I forget who the drummer was. It could have been Scotty Price from
Who's that?
Red Cross.
Okay.
Scott Price,
Red Cross. So Red Cross and White Cross together?
Yeah, well, they became White Cross. They had to change their name because of the Red Cross.
Different Red Cross.
Yeah,
Got you.
No, not that Red Cross. White Cross was originally Red Cross.
Hmm.
Right. This is a long time ago, and before GWAR even. So now I lost my train of thought.
Brown Experiment.
Brown Experience.
Experience.
Yeah, he was just singing on the guitar, just weird lyrics, pouring like Jello on his head or baked beans or something. Just Dave Rocky. He would do whatever he wanted to do. He didn't give a shit if somebody found it funny or not. He'd do it.
Do you remember any of his other weird non-GWAR bands? Besides Death Piggy, of course.
No.
What about Milk?
Milk? Oh, Milk.
Because I know you lived at the dairy. You must have
I was
seen
there
Milk,
with
right?
them when they did Milk. They were all on LSD.
Mm-hmm.
That's a story in itself. They played. I wasn't in that side project.
Right. Colette was. I know.
But it was. I wish I was. They only played a couple of shows, but they were all tripping. And the next thing you know, they're playing, and then one by one they just walked off. And Brocky was just standing there, and he was still playing and just looking at people. And
Here it was
for a couple of minutes, so they had to
Colette,
get together
Dave,
until it's over.
Ron Curry, Jim Thompson,
Yeah.
Tim Harris, and Matt.
It was another art punk kind of art noise thing. It was.
I found a
It was-
recording of them actually.
I'm glad
yeah.
I'm one of the few people who can say I saw one of their few shows.
Incredible.
Yeah, that was some esoteric shit right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget where was it. Was it in? I think it was in New Horizons.
I have
It was in New Horizons. I saw
recording of them from Rockets, but
I'd like.
I'm
to
sure
see
they.
it. Recording a video.
No, just the audio.
I'd like to hear that.
Okay. You got it.
You playing it now?
No, but I'll
Oh.
send it to you.
All right, send it to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I can't top that. That's my
Yeah.
last story.
That's a good one. Milk, fucking Brown Experience, and Milk.
I
I
saw-
love everyone. Every time I talk to someone, they mention a new Dave project that I've
Yeah,
never heard of.
about that. The Brown Experience. There might be some recordings of videos. I don't know, but it was interesting stuff. Rocky did a lot of interesting things. Don't forget, he was an artist. He was an art student.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
You know, these guys had just got out of school when I met them. Some of them were still in school for 1 year. You know,
Right.
in the same they with Wes Freed, Mud Helmet, and all those guys. You know, there's a lot of great bands.
Mud Helmet. That was like they were like the rock band of Richmond, right?
Well, there was the guys from White Cross, you know, Mike Rodriguez, and you know, Wes was a good singer,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and he was a country boy.
Right.
He was. You know, he was a country boy sent to the big city of Richmond, and I have to say, for a country boy, he made it his own. You know, he was a fun guy to hang out with, and we saw a lot of interesting things.
Mm-hmm.
Me, him, Jeff Dodge. These are all the old guys, older than him. Mike Rodriguez, the guys from the 70s and the 80s.
Let's see. Where's Mud Helmet? Mud Helmet.
What is this I'm looking at? Kashmir Jungle Laws. That was Sean Sumner. Yeah.
Yeah.
Odd Subs. I remember them.
Mud helmets. There's Mud Helmets. Wes Freed, Ben Lanes, Mike Rodriguez. Rob Mosley was in Mud Helmets.
I didn't get to see them.
Oh, Derriere, yeah.
I didn't get to see them. Rob Mosley, that guy
Steve Douglas was in Mud Helmet. I didn't know that. Or I guess I did.
Yeah.
I always forget.
He was yeah.
The Guilty, yeah.
He's been in a few bands. He was a good guitar player.
What about the Snake Handlers?
Snake Handlers were interesting.
Remember them?
Well, Jim Thompson was in that band, and so was Tim Curry, I think. I don't know.
And Tim Harris as well.
Tim Harris, that's who it was.
Yeah.
I get the names.
Ron Curry and Jim Thompson.
Curry and Tim Harris. I get those two names interchanged for some reason.
Yeah, because Tim ended up in Capone.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And he was in GWAR for a minute.
Yeah.
Sort of. Armpit. Yeah, this is all in the
Curry
book.
was
Yeah.
in War too. He played second drums.
Who? Oh, right.
Yeah, Ron.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got him mixed up with him.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a mistake. Sorry about that, Ron.
That's all right. I'd say your head is pretty clear, like compared to some of these scum dogs that I talked
Used
to.
to be a lot more
You remember some shit.
Well, I never became an alcoholic,
There you go.
and I only dabbled in certain drugs. I didn't get
Right.
hooked on them.
Right.
And, I tried to keep my memory as long as I could. But
You're doing great, man. I think.
yeah, but I'm out of memories now. So,
Yeah, that's it. I think we've exhausted all of the
oh man,
memories.
it's past my bedtime.
Well, yeah. Can you believe it? We did over 2
I gotta
hours.
take my insulin.
Yeah.
I'm not lying. I do.
Well, yeah, that's important. Keep you alive, man. So we can do season 2.
Season 2.
Yes,
All
we'll
right.
get you on
I
with
used to do an hour, and I wound up giving you 2 hours and 20 minutes.
I know people always.
Yeah, half an hour. That was probably not good. Work.
Yeah. No, I'm glad that we reset this up with your computer. This worked out well.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for having me.
Well, thank you so much.
And
What was the dairy like? Well, go watch my Neon Charlie episode, my friend.
Right, exactly,
dude.
He explained it perfectly. I enjoyed it there. It was interesting, and it was like a commune. You saw everybody. We know everybody's business. It was cool. It was cool for a short time.
Did you hang out at the Chateau of Sin?
Huh? Oh yeah, that was awesome. That place. That's where you go for the real liquor.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys were madmen. I loved them. They were just crazy. And I'm going to leave it on that. I loved all those guys.
Sweet. Well, thank you so much. Don't forget to come back
for another 40 years.
July 24th, Volvatron. This one's 3 hours earlier than usual.
Oh, I'm going to watch this one.
Yeah, we gotta know. I gotta know this story. I'm very excited.
They need to get another girl in the band.
I agree. Well, Margaret's there, but she's not playing like a main character.
See, I haven't seen that. I didn't know.
Yeah, she's just like one of those. She does the victims and spewing people, kind of deal. But she has like a little like costume. It's very old school. Yeah, she's like a slave, one of the slaves. Yeah. But yeah, I hope that she brings out a main character at some point because I'd love to see her step out.
They need to bring Sly Menstra back.
Danielle, I would love that.
I would definitely go to that show.
Yeah, me too. Well, she'll be on the show eventually. Just keep on trucking with us. Cool. She wants to be like, to the top.
Right.
And I understand that because she's royalty, and we've all bowed down to
royalty. She was in there for a long time.
Yeah.
She is royalty.
Yeah. Well, this is awesome, man. Cool, man. We'll talk offline.
Yeah. Stay in touch, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll go hang out in Philly sometime.
Yeah, come on down.
Sweet.
While I'm still here. Come on down.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Well, I got some free time, so if any shows come up in the next few months, let me know.
Okay, you got it, bro.
All right, you guys. Like, share, subscribe, and comment below.
Like, share, subscribe, comment below. Like, share, subscribe, comment below. Like, share, subscribe.